SPY.NO, man. What is up, chat? Throw some A's in the chat if you could hear your boy speak right now. Throw those A's in the chat. What is up? What is up, everybody? Good to see everybody present here. What is going down? What is up, moderator Cal-L? Mark Roach, how you doing, moderator Hound? What are you guys up to? What's the chat up to, man? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yes, we will go over a bunch of tickers, guys. Absolutely know that we are looking at, let's see, remember, we're going to start off with the broader markets, okay? But before we get those tickers in line, please throw those A's in the chat. Joe H, what is up, my dude? Thank you so much for your dono, dude. Is there anything I can look into for you? Please do let me know. Ryan T, thank you so much, man. That really does mean a lot, okay, my dude? Yes, I will go ahead and put that on the schedule here for you, okay, my dude? I have a couple that I owed yesterday, right? So I'll go ahead and put Tide in there for you, not a problem, okay? I think it's gonna be about 5th up in line, okay? So just go ahead and hang tight, and we'll get that through. Thanks so much, Ryan. What is up, Joe? So Hound, actually, this is something on you, okay, my dude? So please go ahead and choose the ticker of your choice, my bro. All right, dude. Sebastian Lim, thank you so much with that massive dono, man. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. And you are looking at a few tickers here, right? So AMC, VS, KPRX, TRKA, FFIE. The biggest popularity in the Arca Bull fam. My goodness, man. Thank you so much for that dono. Let me see what we can do in getting those up in the schedule here. That is absolutely special, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, so what's going down, chat? What is going down? Let me know who got some money. Hey, actually yesterday, oh my goodness, man, I actually have to talk about this. So Cal L saying, Arca, before you get started, take a look at boom, 1D MACD. Okay, so on the daily MACD regression trend line, and comment on that for a sec. Yeah, absolutely, man. What are we talking about here? This is a ticker symbol. Let's see, BOOM. It almost sounds like one of those tickers where you're just trying to trick me, right? But let me go ahead and take a look at it. So it's a NASDAQ ticker, DMC, and let's see. Already. So actually, man, so you're looking at which one? Let me see. I want to see back to. Let me refer back to your comment. And you're looking at the daily MACD. Actually, well, let me just go ahead and pull that up and let's see what we got. Okay, so on the daily, you're looking at BOOM. Okay, so expansion is starting to start, right? It's beginning, and we're starting to get an uptrend here. Very interesting. So let me actually pull down the 12-hour and see if it actually is starting to print the bull signal. Oh yeah. So the 6-hour maybe has it. Okay, so wow, it's soon. It looks like it's prepping. Yeah, look at that on the 4-hour. Actually, this is going to be an hourly broadening descending wedge. Wow. Okay, so on the hourly, you can actually see that this may not be a fake out. Actually, this may be an opportunity. Let's go ahead and just make a quick little note like this. And yeah, so I know it's a little hard to see, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and pop up on that Heikin Ashi to gain a little bit of visibility here over price and trend, right? So take a look at this. It looks like it's popping. I mean, what is it? 1, 2, 3, true breakout on test number 4. We're getting the bull signal on the hour. What is going on here, moderator Cal L? You may be onto something interesting here. Okay, so regarding the daily, I'm actually looking like it's prepping the daily. So let me get the MACD out of the way and now just load real quick this stochastic, momentum versus volatility, right? So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. That's wow, no way. Okay, so we're in critical contraction right now. Let's see what momentum has to say. All right, so on the daily, momentum is still suggesting the downside, but this is, I mean, the moving average still has some way to go down. It still has to reach this critical area, okay? So if this is going to actually face an upside, it may be in just a little bit. It won't be just yet, in my own opinion, right? So the 12-hour is still suggesting a little downside. 8-hour is kind of where it's at. Okay, so the 8-hour is suggesting a massive upside from critical volatility. It's starting to expand. So I'm looking at this the volatility component starting to maybe want to make that break out of that 15 percentile. So this actually may be prepping for a nice move to the upside. But do remember that whenever we are succeeding these it seems to be following historic moves. Yeah, I bet, man. Actually, let's see. Wow. Yeah, this ticker is interesting, man. This is actually making, let me see. Oh, okay. That's another thing to look at. It looks like it's actually preparing a macro upside. And the reason I'm saying that is in respects to this right over here. Check it out. I want to show you exactly that bias, right? So could be this right over here, right? So breaking out of a descending channel. This is pretty, it's substantial, and actually came back to test it and suggesting an upside. Okay, so now building and accumulating for a larger upside to come. Well, what's going down with them? They actually they had an earnings miss. And when was that earnings miss? This is interesting, man. I'm not gonna lie, this is juicy. It's got something. Let's see. All right, so it did have a small miss. It wasn't even that big. So, and the news, so see, it's DMC global EPS of 22 cents, revenue of 175 mil, beats by, okay, so it's what? Did you look at, what the heck? So how is that an earnings miss? They're saying that they're saying that it's a earnings beat. Very interesting. Okay, so it's moving on news and accumulating on news too. So if we were to just refer to the RSI for a closer look, let's just see real quick, man. I don't mind looking at this whatsoever because we could be catching it early right now. All right, so 30-minute immediate short-term upside, bi-hourly upside. We have a little bit of resistance on that 6-hour. Let's see the 12-hour. 12-hour has a little bit of resistance too, which means that we could be facing a moving average or a geometrical target. So real quick, we're gonna just do this like this, right? So let's go ahead and take the previous iterations, that fib, right? So we'll take it just like this, and we can see that the potential touch could be at this candle high, being right at that 2.272 at 26.65. And then this could actually face that resistance because it's at the gravitational zone and the 14-day simple, right? But let me see the daily if it's suggesting, yeah, similar situation, and then the bi-daily upside. Okay, yeah. So what's happening here is that I'm looking at an immediate short-term upside to, the highest end of 26.99. More like the higher potential would be 2.272, 26.65. Find that resistance, come back and validate this newly converted resistance into support, which would be right at that 1.272 at 25.67 before an upside. So this it's saying that it wants to realize the true target from the broadening descending wedge, which would be 26.35, is right in line with 26.65. So it's pretty confluent here. So this is essentially what I'm looking at. The buy daily is showing that upside, finding that support from not only the 14-day but also the gravitational zone. So yeah, I would honestly see that this is suggesting an upside after we face the resistance and then validate that newly converted resistance into support, and then it'll continue on to the upside. So yeah, dude, this is prepping something pretty nice, and we could get a little, we can go a little deeper on it too. I do have to warn that there is a little bit of regression here on the 8-hour RSI, but I do have to tell you that this let me see where it is. Yeah, this has a huge bullish divergence, and it actually just confirmed it just maybe a day ago. Let me see that. Yeah, this was on on Tuesday. It just confirmed a huge drive of bullish divergence, and yeah, you can find the opposition of price action versus momentum just like this. You can see that this pivot right over here line up with this candle here, and you just line it up to that next one, right? So you can see the higher low structure. So this is just phantom regular bullish divergence. So yeah, man, this is suggesting an upside, and it's still suggesting it. Right here we are in that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, so this would essentially suggest to succeed that 14-day simple. We would actually succeed it, right? Then we face the resistance from this gravitational zone. We come back and validate both of these supports I'm talking about both as in the 14-day simple and the gravitational zone, which is in line with moving up, right? And then coming back down to test this newly converted resistance into support, and then an upside continuation. Yeah, this is it's kind of speaking something pretty cool here. And it's several drives of bullish divergence too. So yeah, man, good deal on this one. And I think it's worth taking a look at. I'm not even gonna lie for just a sec. So man, so yeah, good call on that one, moderator Cal. Thank you so much. So Cal was saying, I was just curious how well it's been patterned, right? Yeah, this thing is actually following some market trend and actually traditional rules. It looks like it's following historic moves, just like you're saying too. It's literally playing to the book pretty accurately. And this is another indication that it is following the play pretty nicely, right? So this is an iteration here of a right angled broadening ascending wedge, and it actually could be found just like this. And this is a bearish formation, and it actually realized right to that target. So let's just say we did break out of this zone here, right? So let's go ahead and just take a quick trend line. This is a good thing to even look at, right? So you can back test things like this. You can just look at its prior behavior before, and then make decisions based on that, right? So you take that trend line from the area of breakout, and then you apply it to the area of breakout, and then you can gauge the potential target. So it was suggesting the whole time that it could go down to about 22.54, of which ended up going to about 9.18. So not bad. Actually, it did make the move pretty nicely. Even here, went down to 26.29 out of that 22.88. Yeah, this is it's following the playbook rules pretty nicely. And also here, breaking out of this descending channel, test 1, 2, 3, 4th breakout, test back to validate that support, continue on to the upside, now reaccumulation into the upside again. Good deal. Yeah, nice, man. So we'll just go ahead and note that this was the first ticker that we looked at. I like it a lot, man. Thank you so much for suggesting that one, right? So just in case some people are a little curious over what could be happening with that boom ticker, go ahead and put it on your watch list and see what happens with it, right? So I'm very excited to see everybody here tonight, man. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. What is going down, man? Yes, so we are actually, that was Lil AR15 actually asked for that ticker. Let me see, where is it? So CING, I think he actually asked for, right? So we're going to be looking at that one as well. Okay, you guys, I do owe a couple tickers from yesterday. Okay, so I just want you guys to be kind of aware of that, and we're definitely going to be including Tide into the list here, and we'll try to get over these tickers as fast as humanly possible, right? Very excited to be streaming for you guys tonight, as there are opportunities in the market. Guys, yesterday I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I was talking about ticker symbol G. I think it was what ticker was it? I'll give it to you right now. GNPX. And that ticker I actually gave a B- because I ended up, I don't know if you remember me talking about this, where I said, this thing is setting up a bull trap. But then after looking at it more and more and more, then I started feeling like it was actually a bear trap, right? So all in all, it actually reversed, and it was a bull trap, in fact. So this was a terrible call on my point, right? So on my part, and I would actually like to express how many times I do come across some errors like that, right? Because they're not, I'm not trying to boast, but they don't happen often, right? But in this case, this one I did express how it was a little confusing, and it was getting me, right? So GNPX, if you guys are curious to see, definitely refer back to the video that we looked at yesterday. And you can even see how I was already implying a potential downside on that based on a trap. But then there was a lot of confusion over the test of the resistance. So I would like to be as transparent as I can be and not ignore the mistakes that I also can make, right, you guys? So I think it's imperative for us to evaluate the potentials of price action, but then also know that it's absolutely random. and more importantly than not, right, absolutely come to terms that it is a mistake or not. Right, so I just wanted to come and clean up that mess and tell you guys right up front that that is in fact what I looked at. Right, so if you are curious, go ahead and check that thing out, that video out, right, from yesterday. I think it was around maybe the middle, where I was talking about GNPX, and you'll be able to see how the mistake happened and how it wasn't a mistake at the beginning, but then it turned out to be one. Right. Good stuff, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, right? So let's see. What's up, B? Good to see you in here, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Super stoked to have you here. There's been a lot of early ticker pickers and all that good stuff. So Abner Cruz saying I owe him $400. My dude, I will absolutely pay you the money, my bro. That was a crazy move to the downside on that GNPX, man. I know that you must have got long, or you must have went long based on what I said, right? I'm not really sure how I missed it, but I still have to evaluate it a little more and find out how that mistake actually happened, right? So we'll figure it out for sure. But Abner Cruz, thank you so much for stopping by, and my apologies for any confusion there, right, my dude? So guys, I want to go ahead and start going over the tickers that we're going to be looking at tonight, as I am looking at a few already. Okay, so B, you're looking at SQ, right? I'll go ahead and add it to the list. If I don't get to it, I don't mean any offense whatsoever, okay, you guys, but we do have a lot to take a look at. Okay, so let's go ahead and refer to these. We just looked at ticker symbol BOOM. We still have to look at the SPY, TRKA. We have TIDE, LSF. We have HDUP, CLNV. We have CING. We have FNGR, AMNL. We have HLBZ. We have COMS and SQ. Okay, you guys, good stuff in the markets. We need to know how the broader markets are looking at. I'm sorry, how they're feeling, how they're looking right now. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and just get that started now. Okay, you guys, we're just gonna go ahead and get a little bit more of a serious note here and move along, right? So Renaissance Wolf also wanting to add that ticker CEOS to the list. I'll go ahead and add it right down there, and we'll continue on the analysis, right, my dude? Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Please make sure to remember, guys, there's only 7 seats left in the ARC Masters trading course that I am offering. Please go ahead and refer to the link in the description below for you to reserve your seat if you are interested in understanding the basics of trading all the way to advanced topics and mathematical application. Okay, you guys, so go ahead and get that seat reserved before it's too late. There's only about 7 left. All right, so let's get the SPY started and see what we got going. Okay, you guys, so yeah, let's just get it out of the way right now so that we can see what's going on for the markets and tomorrow. I actually didn't do the research again as to when the FOMC minutes was. I think somebody said it was the 22nd, which would be yesterday, right? I'm not sure if that's exactly the case, right? So Sebastian, I'll go ahead and add that to the list as well, my dude. So yeah, we're looking at a broadening descending wedge on the daily. Actually, it would be better looked at from let's see, it would be better looked at from the 8-hour chart. And very interesting thing here is actually the SPY recovered that broadening descending wedge, and we're still, I mean, this could be the opportunity for a long position, right? But if that's the case, we have to validate it with maybe some momentum, okay? Raw price action is suggesting a continuation to the upside, so it very well could be happening, okay? Let's go down to the 30-minute immediate short term and see what it's got. So already finding some support from that 14-day simple moving average and suggesting a little bit of consolidation here, okay? Let's move on. Bi-hourly is suggesting, let's see, a little bit of a pullback. We have a slight bullishness here from that 14-day simple moving average, which turns out to be overall consolidation even still, okay? Let's see what that 6-hour is saying, okay? So let's see, we are below, okay, so this is a little concerning. We are below the 14-day simple moving average, but the thing is that we are still within the gravitational pull or the zone of the bear strength percentile, okay, which would essentially have us or it could potentially pull us back into the following zone. There's no guarantee in that because this is still suggesting a little bit of downside with a little bit of consolidation. Okay, so now the 12-hour is still suggesting some downside, but we're still within that gravitational zone too. Hint for the downside, okay? So it could be in reference to recovering that broadening descending wedge where we it was on the 8-hour, I think, that we saw it, right? Yeah. So on the 8-hour, we're seeing it. So this would happen upon breaking back into this. We would actually have to come back and validate this as a support before continuing on to the upside. And it looks like the 8-hour has a limited upside, so this is very much in correlation to the targets that we were looking at yesterday, right at that 1.272, 402.24. The SMA 10 would likely be there tomorrow as well. Best case scenario could be between the 1.618 and 403.67 to 403.21 before facing a little bit of a capitulation event. It wouldn't be so drastic. I'm just saying that there is a potential to where we need to come back and test this. And if it is going to happen, it may actually happen in the immediate short term before the end of the day or before the end of session tomorrow. Okay, so there is that likelihood there. The buy hourly is suggesting some upside still in that gravitational zone, a little threatening to the downside, right? The 3-day and 5-day and weekly up down, that usually means consolidation as well. So we're still in deep thought. We're still thinking about what is going to happen, right? So actually, I'm very curious still to see when the hell the damn FOMC minutes happen. I think that somebody said it was the 22nd, but I'm not actually sure if I can trust that. Let me just make sure that it is that, right? So FOMC minutes, and that was for what month? That was going to be February 2023, right? So let's see. So Federal Reserve officials at their most recent meeting indicated that there are signs of inflation. The signs of inflation are coming down, okay, but it's not enough to, yeah. Okay, so this happened a day ago. It was it was recent. Okay, so this is likely how the markets are pressuring this. The markets are trying to price that in right now. So which is honestly the reason why I'm seeing a potential downside to face the support right at that now that I see it at that SMA 100. So there is that potential too, you guys. So just know that the limited upside is something that I'm looking at tomorrow before a rejection of that. Okay, so if you're gonna get long on SPY, maybe hold off and refer back to it after a couple days as the markets may be pricing some downside right now. But it looks, I mean, the markets overall looked not so bad today. They looked like they were trying to recover some, right? So I think that's going to do it for the SPY. Just know that we still have some consolidation to look at here as far as the sentiment. And I'm speaking in psychological terms. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Keep the overall sentiment in your. Don't put it in the back burner. Always keep it up front and see what the people are trying to say or not. 12-hour. Let me see. Oh, that was very close. I thought this was a bearish engulfing here. It definitely is not. But a huge indecision candle here, or actually this was a bullish hammer. It could have done it to the upside here, which could very well be the upside suggestion here for tomorrow. So remember, guys, 40. Let's see, what was the target? 402.26. To the top side of about 403.25 to 403.65 would be the top side before it rejects. Okay, that's what I'm looking at personally in a very discretionary manner. Remember that I have not practiced any mathematical validation on this. Okay, so go ahead and keep that in mind, and we're going to go ahead and finalize here the SPY now. Okay, so let's not rate this because it does have a little bit of risk. Okay, so I don't want to trap anyone, and I want to make sure that no one is that everyone is more safe than anything, right? So we're going to do no rating on the SPY. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next ticker, guys. We're going to look at TRKA and see what we got. Okay, us being in deep thought, Cal-L, meaning that if we're going to continue going up or going down, because the news that the Fed gave us is a little confusing, saying that, oh, there are signs of the inflation, going down, but this and but that and but this. So they start to do that runaround. So the markets face a little bit of fear, followed by recovery, because overall it's still not bad, right? So yesterday, so let's go ahead and now move on. Oh, so my goodness, man, we still have more data coming out. Thank you so much, Core Stowe, for that. So PZE data should be coming up, and this is likely why we have some consolidation still present. Good catch, man. Thank you so much for that. Indra H saying that the TRKA asset has a short interest over 71%. How long has it been there, Indra, and where are you getting it from? Is that like a Fintel data, or are you looking at it from Ortex, which is, I mean, essentially is the same thing. Earnings on Monday for TRKA. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, that what actually earnings are saying that it's tomorrow. TradingView is saying earnings tomorrow for TRKA. Is that accurate or no? Or could it be reported different where you are? TRKA could be facing some earnings tomorrow, it looks like here, but I'm not too sure. Guys, does anybody, go ahead, chat. Let me know if anybody knows when earnings are going to be officially be reported for TRKA. Is that tomorrow? It looks like it's a high potential that it may be. Oh, okay. Now, what I was talking about regarding the short interest I mean, first of all, 71% is massive. You're looking at, wow, 71% to borrow. I mean, that's a lot. The interest on short, 71%. What's going on? Is this somebody's trying to squeeze it or what? Mr. Levitt saying Ortex short interest pretty much doubled today on TRKA. So we have to only assume that the short interest doubled as of 2 or 3 weeks ago upon the reporting of Ortex, because apparently the FINRA data does not get reported to Ortex or to Fintel until about 2 weeks later, which honestly explains why the price action has been going up. So, I mean, if you marked 2 weeks ago, you'd likely find yourself right at the bottom of this ascending wedge that you're looking at on the screen right now. So I'm wondering if that could be it. Who knows? So, let's see, actually, that's January 11th I mean, from here, right? We're on February 23rd. So that was about a month ago. So let's see what 2 weeks ago could have been. 2 weeks ago, let's see, the 23rd. 2 weeks ago could have been right over here, actually, right when the price started moving up. Interesting. It could line up pretty nicely, actually, with the short interest. So, Mr. Levitz, are you also looking at 71% short interest? Is that still the case? 71% SI? Moderator Hound, I'm not sure if you actually ended up chiming in, as sometimes the comments come in a little faster than normal, right? And I actually did see a comment where somebody, and I didn't actually Edwin saying I love you, Arca. Get out of here, man. Is that you, Steezy Breezy? Let me yeah, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at TRKA and see what it's got for us. All right. So yesterday we were talking about the potential entry areas, right about that 24-cent level. The lower end could have been at about 22.62 yet again, right? So we did actually come back to that support. LLAP. All right. Yeah, definitely we'll take a look at that, okay? LLAP. Good stuff. All right, so my goodness, guys, we got that bounce zone that we were looking at. So the price action from today could very well flash our indicators to the upside. Okay, so right away we can actually see that 12-hour suggesting that massive upside already. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame suggesting a little bit of a pullback. This pullback is very, very small, though. Remember, immediate short-term tends to live out pretty fast, right? So let's move on and see what we got. Very limited downside. In fact, this is not credible whatsoever because it's a tiny little pivot. And also mind your RSI positioning. Okay, your signal is right in that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which would essentially pull us right back into that bull strength. And also notice that the 14-day simple is starting the curve to that upside. So very good for TRKA. Let's see what it's got. 6-hour time frame suggesting an upside as well, also entering that gravitational zone. So this is still suggesting an upside too. Very clean, very clean. 12-hour in the process of crossing the border between the bear weakness and the bear strength. So this is still suggesting upside. Man, all right. Daily time frame is about to make a cross, if not already. Let's see. Okay, so wow, this is very close to it. We may actually succeed that 14-day simple on the daily. And the buy daily is suggesting a short-term pullback. Okay, so what could that be? If we're looking at upside continuation here, the fib levels are absolutely still in play. The more obvious targets, again, are going to be between 30, between 30 and of course the candle high right over here from where things got halted in Germany, right? So that would be the high of about 33.50. So those are the obvious targets for the coming sessions, okay? Followed by a pullback. Now that pullback is not gonna last too long whatsoever, okay? Because look at the 3-day and the 5-day; they're still suggesting upside, and even into the weekly. Very interesting here that on the weekly we're coming down. We're actually contracting from critical volatility, which could mean that there is a statistical play in the upper term time frame. Okay, so very interesting here. Let me see. Okay, so the correction is happening on the 3-day. It looks like we're starting the curve. We're losing that bear strength and now contracting into critical contraction. Yeah, you guys, the upside still looks very relevant here for TRKA. Just like we were talking about yesterday, this could very well be a huge bear trap, right? So, I was suggesting everybody short this stock to maybe consider getting out, right? Because it's looking like it. It's definitely looking like it, okay? The upside is still imminent. Remember the targets that I just gave you, okay? 30.30 to about the high of this candle, 33.50. If you need me to make a box, I'll just go ahead and make it right now so that there is no confusion when you do come back and evaluate this this ticker, right? So that is essentially what I'm looking at for TRKA. If there is any type of downside, I'm looking at the 30-minute and maybe the 15-minute. Let me see. No, not even that. Okay, so yeah, so the 5-minute having this limited upside means that it's just going to go up a few cents before it rejects to fulfill the 30-minute downside, find that support, and then continue on to the upside. Where is that support, though? So let's just go back to the 8-hour and take a look at that, because that support may very well be the broadening ascending wedge. Let me see, actually, the 12-hour and daily. Yeah, actually, it would be literally right down here, right at the top side of this candle here, about 26.41, and 26.01 to about 26.41 could be that following loading zone in case there are any other longs trying to get long this, right? So that would essentially be that loading zone before a continuation onto the upside. Yeah, there definitely is a bunch. So now Mark Roach saying TRKA fib levels 34, 42, 49. Yeah, I still see them. They're absolutely relevant to the ones that still are present here. So a lot of the times I tend to favor previous fibs because a lot of traders end up using the prior day's fibs to gain entry, swing traders, right? And they would use this for the future price action, and then they would still be honoring those price targets per systems trading, right? Or systematic trading. So yeah, that's going to do it for TRKA, guys. Lots of good stuff for TRKA. Let's go ahead and dive in. What are we rating this for the longs? We're talking about D minus being Cal. I'm gonna read that right now. Hold on. So D minus being the max loss, and D plus being that break even. Okay, let's go from D minus to A plus. What are we rating this? Mark Roach coming up with a B plus. To B is for bias to own shares. Nice. Joe H giving it a B for the longs. Very cool, my bro. Indra H giving this a B plus. Randy Campbell B. Devin B. Mr. Levitz B. Guys, wow. Do you guys remember what we rated this the other time? Check it out. So I rated this a B minus the last time. Hound giving this a B plus. Renaissance Wolf, Mark or Arca, when would it get to 34 cents? The when is a very, very objective question. And that is something, there's no way for me to know that. But if I were to assume when it would be actually first upon the rejection of this of the take profit zone. I'm talking about between 30 and the high of that candle where let's see, right over here at about 32.05. We need to reject there first. We need to retrace and come back to reaccumulate and then move to the upside. Okay, so it would potentially be what day are we in? Thursday? It would maybe be Wednesday next week. It depends on FOMO too. So in other words, when Like when moon is what you're asking me pretty much, right? So guys, this is great. I'm definitely liking this play very much. So I'm going to go ahead and honor the same rating that I gave you the last time. It's still that B-, right? So this is very good. So now moderator Cal-L, this is, guys, that's it for ticker symbol TRKA, right? So, and I'm just going to make sure that we did rate this the B-, right? Thank you so much, everybody, for participating. We're going to look at Tide next, but moderator Cal-L is saying right here, I have a special announcement from a special member pending. Let me know when you're ready for it. Please go ahead and dive in right now. Moderator Cal, release that news and tell me what it is. So cue the sound effects. Hold on just a sec. I'll go ahead and put on those jams so that we can see what you're talking about, right? What is it? Bring up the news, moderator Cal-L. Let's see what is up. Ta 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 ta. What? Dude, what? Stick Vicious is gonna help navigate this, but I would like to sponsor and offer a seat in your master's class battle. So are you talking about, wow, that's really insane, guys. That's gnarly. Are you saying, where are you guys even talking? That's actually the loss of words is what's happening right now, man. Thank you so much. So Stig, Cal-L is going to help navigate this, but I would like to sponsor and offer a seat in your master's class. So so if I'm understanding this correctly, who are you actually sponsoring? Are you sponsoring Cal-L to have that seat in the in the master's class? That's very, very kind of you, my dude. If that is the case, holy shit, man. Thank you so much. That really does mean so much, man. Is that what it means? That you're essentially paying for Cal-L's seat into the master class? That's very cool, man. Thank you. We're gonna do a poll and select a member. No way, guys. Did you just hear that? You know that there are only now, this actually marks the seventh seat, okay? Meaning that there's only 6 seats left in the master's course, and right now Cal-L and Stick Vicious just came together to create a poll for a random member who's going to be selected to join the ARC Masters trading course that will be starting in March. Okay, you guys, this is absolutely insane. So you're going to create the poll in Discord, correct? Is that pretty much what's happening here? Yes, Randy Campbell saying very generous, Stick Vicious. That is absolutely generous of you. And my goodness, man, thank you so much. So moderator Cal-L is saying check out the Discord for the poll. Okay, so a random member will get a seat in the ARC Masters course for free. Okay, you guys, so now you know to make sure to refer to the links in the description below to get yourself into the Discord right now. Go ahead and look at that the link that moderator Cal-L just posted up. Click on that right now. And I'm sorry, Cal, where can they find the poll again? Let me just go ahead and see this, right? Stick Vicious, my battle. Thank you so much, man. That is absolutely genuine of you and very kind, right? So to select a member like that, I'm sure there are many people out there who are not able to afford anything like that, right? So this absolutely comes with high credibility and high regard. Thank you so much for your attention and for your dedication to the Arca Bulls family. And I mean, I'm talking about the interest of everyone here, right? That is very, very cool. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for stepping in, right? That is 100% very, very interesting, man. I'm actually at a loss of words. I hate it when that happens because then you know what? You're impairing what could be happening here for the boy. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. I am very excited to see that. So Win asking, how do I join? So go ahead and refer to the comment right above you that moderator Cal-L, right, put up. You see that Discord link? Go ahead and click on that, okay? Join the Discord. My battle. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Another thing you can do is actually email this right here, okay? ARC Masters course at gmail.com. Let me just go ahead and post that right here. So if you are interested in acquiring any information, you can also reach that email there. Okay, so that's very, very kind. And yeah, man, my goodness, how cool. Very cool. All right, you guys. So I'm noticing a little bit of lag here on the freaking chart, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and close this chart out and start it once more, right? Because this thing is actually experiencing a little bit of trouble. So let's see if we can refresh that and get moving with our analysis. Okay, you guys, very cool stuff. Cal L saying, join the Arca Bulls Discord. Check out the general discussion. Okay, so the channel is general discussion. Use the thumbs up button on the poll to be entered into the random drawing for a seat in the Arc Masters course sponsored by Stig Vicious. Okay, you guys. So there is the link right below that comment. Okay, please go ahead. Feel free to click on that now and refer to that general discussion. Okay, right in the general discussion, you'll see the poll. Okay, you guys, so that was it for ticker symbol TRKA, and now we got to move on to ticker symbol TYDE. All right, let's see what it's got for us. Even the computer was like, no way, Stig Vicious coming in way hot. That's very kind of you, my dude. That speaks a lot about you, man. Thank you so much for taking into consideration retail and the education of others. Okay, so definitely reserve that seat, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at now Tide and see what it's got for us. Okay, come on. Okay, so we're looking at it in the 5-day chart. We don't want to do that. Let's actually go back to maybe the bi-daily. This is a broadening descending wedge that we've talked about prior, right? So let me get rid of some of these fibs and just make some room, as some of those targets have already been realized. Very interesting. Actually, some of those targets we were looking at. Good. All right, so Tide is in the process of potentially making a bullish engulfing here, but let's see the 3-day to see if that's something that can or is good for us to consider, right, you guys? So I'm not exactly sure. So Renaissance Wolf saying, can you quickly explain the process of taking profit if there's pullbacks? Okay, so that is something that I can... Are you part of the Arc Masters? Because that's literally something that I go over there. Or have you signed up for that yet or no? But yes, there is a strategy behind that. Okay, so now very nice candle print here, a bullish hammer right at the bottom of a trend. I wish this wick could have been a little longer, as the body is suggesting a very high quality candle here, which could essentially tell us that there is an upside coming. But let's just validate that. Let's validate Tide's price movement starting from the immediate short-term time frame and see what we got. Okay, so in this case, we can actually see that we still have an upside suggestion on that 30 minutes. So, and it's actually very, very healthy. Okay, so let's move on to the bi-hourly and see what it's got. Okay, let's see. Okay, bi-hourly also, man. Okay, so still on the what's happening with Tide? Why is it doing this? Look at the 6 hours, still suggesting massive upside as well. Is there some type of a fundamental catalyst playing right now on this, or what? Because this is still, man, this is right in the gravitational zone of the bull strength, suggesting an upside. Good deal. All right, so consolidation on the daily, and then the bi-daily continues on, crossing the 14-day simple. Good stuff. Let's see. Oh, Renaissance Wolf saying, I emailed because I'd like to be a part of it, but haven't heard back yet. Did you email today? Because I don't see any open emails unless I clicked it by accident. So yeah, you guys, so now look at this, the bi-daily making that important cross above that 14-day simple. Let's go ahead and take a look at that 3-day and see what it's got. Okay, the information gets a little limited here, but it's still suggesting a small upside. Okay, so if we were to favor the upside, let me look at the 12-hour, because this is looking like it could touch on a couple targets for us. Okay, so let's take a fib from the previous candle, right? I'm talking about this one here. So yesterday's swing high to the swing low of that 12-hour iteration. Okay, so we can then see what the potentials are for that upside. Okay, let's see what we got. So yeah, so take a look at this right here. This moving average is the 30-day exponential moving average located right above the 1.618. Very likely we can actually see an upside tomorrow. I'm saying there's still more upside to go. I'm giving you the first target, okay? So I'm gonna make a box just like this so that you can see what could be. Sean, oh, did somebody say AMC? Dude, I love that you do that all the time. That's so funny. All right, so there you go, guys. This is going to be the first area of resistance, very likely to find that area too, okay? The second spot that I'm looking at is in reference to the 50-day simple moving average landing right upside of that 2.618 golden mean, okay? So the geometrics here are landing pretty nice with raw price action here. So I would definitely look at these. I mean, I almost feel like this is possible. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I can see the regression happening on a trend line, right? So this is what I mean. Hold on just a sec. I'll show you. Okay, so what I mean is, my apologies. Let's go ahead and pull that trend line one more time, is this here. Okay, so let's take this trend line here and make a regression and see if it lines up with something. Actually, I'm sorry, it's actually supposed to be from maybe this one or this one. Let's just see. These are just some little weird secret ways, you know what I mean, that you can try to see where potential targets can land, right? So in this case, it's coming to about that 2.272, just at about it, okay? So that means that it gives relevance to that 2.618. Okay, so if that's the case, then this is how it could be played, because you can still look at this as a descending channel as well. So if you take a trend line like this and then you apply that channel, then you can start to see the correlation between price action and targets, right? So in this case, we would face that resistance here, which would only be natural and a third touch of it, right? So we would have to reject from this target of about 2198 to the top side of about 2368 before coming back down and testing maybe the 1756 of the 0.618. Okay, and then we would actually face a bounce to the upside. Test number 3 is usually the one that fails. Okay, it doesn't have to. I'm just saying that it usually does. Okay, and this is, you're looking at test 1, test 2 of the resistance, and we're coming up on test 3, which usually faces a downside. Okay, so good stuff here. Good stuff here. And if there is an accumulation zone for this, it could be. Did we say that actually? Let's see what the immediate short term is suggesting. So, no, wow. 5-minute is actually still probably pitched to the upside as well. Let's see. Yeah, wow. So this thing is suggesting upside immediately. So for the longs who are trying to get long this, you would be trying to chase it at this point. You would already have to have been in. Okay, so what I'm saying is that sometimes upon these types of moves, you would have to look at relevant resistances before an upside. So for example, here on the buy hourly, you would face a resistance at the 1931, likely to come back and test our current highs, which is confluent with this SMA 50, right? So we would actually reject from the 1931, we would reject, come back to about 1841, get long, and then take the trade all the way to the potentials that I'm giving you. Likely, I mean, I'm saying likely at about 2290, but it's just because the 2.618 is there. But the 2.272 at 2198 may be the overall target for this. Okay, you guys, I'll just make that line right there for you, and then you can evaluate this later on. Okay, so that's gonna do it for ticker symbol TIDE. And chat, let's go ahead and dive in and rate this for the longs, because I mean, this is already saying upside, right? So D- being your max loss, D+ being your break even. Okay, so let's rate it from D- to A+. What are we rating this for the longs? So Corey Smith saying, I'm watching this, putting it on my watch list. Thanks, guys. Not a problem, my dude. Absolutely happy to help out. And yeah, so let's see. Krishna, we're definitely going to be looking at CLNV. It's coming up. We still got a few tickers to get out of the way. LLAP is next, okay? So we're getting already some ratings. Indra H giving it a C+. Mark Roach giving this a C rating as well. Now, yeah, because it's already in play, right? Mr. Levitt's giving it a C+ as well. So the upside I'm definitely seeing here. I'm for sure seeing an upside, right? The thing is that we would have already had to enter this on the accumulation period of this candle here, which could have been at about 1727 for a pump all the way to that 20-cent zone, or the 20-cent range, right? So I think you guys are dead on by giving it that rating. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you guys and give this a solid C rating. Okay, so long rating of C for the longs. Good deal, good deal, good deal. So let's go ahead and finish up the analysis here with ticker symbol TIDE and move on to LLAP, which is actually the very kind Corey Smith giving it a C plus, Randy Campbell with a C. Exactly, guys. I think the overall sentiment is dead on with your ratings here. Definitely agree with that. I'm sorry, the comments actually came in a little later than I thought, right? So I like it. I like it. So now Mark Roach saying Tide, BBIG, lots of retail owners. So BBIG is a massive community and it's growing. Okay, so lots of sentiment in that ticker there. Okay, so we already saw ticker symbol boom, so that's not a problem at all. Actually, we also don't need this here. Sorry, those are things that I'm working on, right? So AMNL is another ticker that we're going to be looking at tonight. So let's just go ahead and load up LLAP and see if we have it already listed for us to take a look at. I think I prepared it for the other day, but I never actually got to take a look at it, right? So that was a long rating of for Tide, right? I gave it a solid C. I'm going to just make sure to leave that on the notes here so that we can evaluate later. So LLAP, this is it was very kind of Joe H to give Hound his ticker pick for today. Very cool. Thank you so much, Joe H, for your contribution. And moderator Hound, I hope you're still here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this ticker now. Let's start it off from the daily, just like we always do, guys. Make sure that we are on the log chart and see what's going on. Okay, huge price action to the upside based on what? LLAP, let's see. Falling? No, that doesn't look like falling. Oh my goodness, man. I don't see the exact news here, but I mean, it's definitely running on that. So Tide, yes, Cryptide. It is the spinoff of BBIG, definitely. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and continue on with LLAP and move to the moving averages. Let's see what it's got for us. Okay, so historically speaking, why are we finding the resistance here? Well, I mean, first of all, in raw price action, this candle here is the reason we face the resistance, right? So you can line it up horizontally right to the resistance of this huge wick, right? So right to the top of that candle is likely why we found that. And now regarding this, historically, let's just see what it has. Okay, so we'll draw a trend line and see what it's got. You know, okay, so there's not a lot of history on this. It looks like the asset's been trading since about 2021. It's still okay. You know, it's sometimes always I'd rather more information than not, right? But still, this looks like it's moving on some type of fundamental news of which, guys, so moderator Cal is saying that the poll is up now in the Arca Bulls Discord in general chat. Okay, so the channel is called General Chat. Please go ahead and follow that Discord link there for you to be potentially randomly selected to gain a seat for the Arc Masters trading course. Okay, you guys, so that is about a $299 value that is essentially being sponsored and provided by Stig Vicious, another member of the Discord community and the Arca Bulls family. Thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. All right, you guys, so now let's continue on the analysis here. I want to see what momentum is saying from the immediate short term, okay? So 30-minute immediate short term is already making a bullish cross above that 14-day simple, so an upside is imminent. Let's go ahead and look at the buy hourly. So the buy hourly is suggesting a limited upside, okay? Likely to find a little bit of resistance right at this level here. So it's right about 309 to about 314, okay? That's the buy hourly trade. Now, if you're looking at the 6 hour, let's go ahead and take a look at this because it's overextended like crazy and it is suggesting a downside, but however, this has not actually created a drive of bearish divergence, okay? And I'm talking about particular to this pivot here where you can see the spike here. You can see that this spike can actually make a higher high to the next area, and this is making a higher low to this peak over here. So that is not a drive and it's not confirmed. Okay, we don't want these roll-offs. Okay, we want the thing to actually make a pivot, right? So in this case, you can see that there may be a correction and then it actually may still continue on to the upside. So historically speaking, this is as high as it's ever reached on the 6 hour. We're at 82.79% already. So let's go ahead and move on to the 12 hour and see what we got. Okay, so the 12 hour actually looks a little more convincing on that bearish divergence. Okay, so sometimes if we don't see it on a shorter term time frame, we can actually see it on a higher term, right? So let's continue on the analysis and see what we got, because it's still too small of a pivot for us to gauge any type of bias. So the daily time frame is now showing that tiny little pivot as well. Right, I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, so there is an after hour on this. So let's go ahead and look at the buy daily. Okay, so buy daily is suggesting an upside continuation, as it still has. I mean, it's already extended. There's no historical value already. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is get long a stock when it's getting close to that 70 percentile of the RSI. Okay, you would be chasing things at that point. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the 3-day and see what it's got. Man, okay, so the 3-day is just entering the bullish control zone here. This is the bull strength percentile and outside of the gravitational pull. So this is absolutely still suggesting upside in a very violent manner. I'm talking in the 3-day here. Okay, so another thing to know, let me see. Actually, no, I don't even want to call that out. It's ridiculous. Okay, so actually maybe, you know what, it is. Okay, so check this out, guys. In candle analysis, it's good to see this in the upper term time frames, right? So please go ahead and notice the size of this freaking ridiculous a bullish engulfing candle formation. Okay. So that usually happens when the green candle ahead of the red candle engulfs the red body of the previous candle, right? So this is it just consumed it and just ate everyone around it as well. That's so funny to see. That's ridiculous. Okay, so it's very much in accordance as to why the 3-day is suggesting a continuation onto the upside. All right, so now I'm actually curious to see volatility versus momentum on this and see what it's got. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull that up, because there may very well be a play happening right now. Let's go down to the daily and see what we got. Okay, here we go. And there actually is. All right, so this is now turning into a mathematical play. Okay, so meaning that there is upside to this based on volatility versus momentum. What we want is to be in critical volatility, which we are, right? So I mean, it would be awesome to have the moving average there. It would be ideal to have it, but we're still within the critical volatility, which is within the 90 percentile of the expansion phase of volatility. Okay, and the second criteria or condition to need for that upside validation would be stochastic momentum, both of the K percent versus the D percent to the upside. Okay, so K percent is a simple moving average 14 period, and the D percent is actually exponential moving average 3 period. Okay, so this is suggesting an upside continuation while entering critical volatility. This is likely to still continue on to the upside. Okay, so this is corrective, and it looks like it's still loading up a massive upside. Okay, so very cool. I know that the RSI is a little bit overextended in some areas, so there are going to be violent pullbacks and zigzags around this, so it'll still continue on, right? So please be very careful when trading this, but it is suggesting an upside. What's the float on this? Let's go ahead and look at that. So you're looking at it. The market cap is wow, that's not bad actually. So the market cap is 422.8 mil, and this is right around the border of where I would trade things personally. Small caps. The float is just about 100 million. This is very much the valuations that I would consider for my types of trades. Okay, so of course this is overextended, but the volatility versus momentum seems to just be, I mean, very close to firing, maybe tomorrow. So that statistical upside could very much be in play, and it's going to play it on the daily, not the immediate short term. So loading zone for this, let's see. If we do have a loading zone for this, we would have to look at, let me just see if we have, wow, everything is upside. Hold on. All right, so the hourly time frame would honestly be the spot, right? So it does have a little bit of an upside before a rejection. Okay, so if we are favoring the hourly time frame for a type of upside, then definitely look. Okay, we need to use raw price action on this. And that would likely be, yeah, that would likely be right. You know what? I'm going to draw a box instead. It would be right from these candle highs to the candle opening and closing of these two top ones right over here, right? So this would be a likely area to find a resistance before coming back and then finding the same area that we're in right now, 295, before you can get long and then make this upside move. Mr. J, thank you so much for that dono, my friend. That very much means so much to me, my dude. Please always let me know if there's anything I can do for you, okay? So, Ian Tucker, y'all, I have a question regarding AST transfer agent. Can brokers see how many shares have been transferred? Of course they can. They can definitely see how many, especially if the market maker is, I'm sorry, especially if you're talking about the market maker, or you're talking about brokers, individual brokers. That I actually don't know that. Regarding AST trend. Yeah, individual brokers, I'm not sure if they can. I thought you were talking for market makers. Yes, because the market makers are essentially responsible for every single share issued, which they would honestly be responsible if any naked shares also, right? So we can only assume that they can, but the brokers individually, Webull and all that stuff, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they can provide that type of transparency yet, until it's actually regarded, right? So guys, LLOEP is prepping a very nice move. So to play this short term, I'm talking about waiting for this to actually move to the upside. And that upside move could very much be to that $3.11 zone to about 324 before facing a pullback. More than likely this 311, right? So it'll face that pullback, come right back to about 296 and then continue on to that upside, okay? Because we still have some validations to continue or to make, especially when we're talking about the daily, okay? So the daily still needs to actually have a convincing pivot here to the upside for both the averages, and we could also benefit from having the moving average of the volatility indicator, BBWP, to also meet the critical volatility zone alongside the spectrum volatility component. So that would be ideal for that, okay? But this is still suggesting an upside, and it's turning into a mathematical upside now, which actually I'm a little compelled to make. How far is the history on this? We may not have that much, okay? Especially since the price action was so minimal here. Well, I mean, we have to zoom in like crazy for it to look like this, right? So there could be a play here, guys, and you're looking at one iteration, two iterations. Check this out. We were at critical volatility here, right? We started contracting, and please notice that the momentum started pivoting towards the upside, which meant that we made a massive upside move, right? Based on being in that critical volatility, which is where we're entering now. So it's rhyming nicely is what I'm trying to say. Another iteration here too. We were at critical volatility, similar actually area to where we are now. Started that contraction phase, momentum started pivoting towards that upside. And even though we got this pullback here, go ahead and notice that we're still in a smaller pullback than this one, and it still made the upside from this area to this area here. So historically speaking, it does have another one here. Look, we're actually contracting, and then you can see upon the contraction phase, price action went massively to the upside. So yeah, there is potential here that this may very well favor the upside yet again, and to a more violent manner even still. Wow. So I mean, not that many iterations in the volatility versus momentum, right? So we don't have too many to work with here. I like that it would show perfection. Sure, you know, it's probably going to be 100% in the upside accuracy, but I would love to see like 30, 40, 50, maybe even 70 iterations of this in order for me to actually bet a real bankroll right to the upside. So I mean, but nonetheless, guys, this is very powerful. And if you've noticed here, go ahead and take a notice that the last two earnings have been beats, and now earnings is coming up for this. It's had one miss historically, and all of them to the expectations. So guys, this is a pretty good play. Not gonna lie. Thank you so much, moderator Cal. I'm sorry, it was actually moderator Hound for suggesting this ticker, and thank you so much, Joe H, for providing that outlook. Right. So very good, you guys. Very good. So go ahead and know for a fact that we can rate this now. Chat, let's dive in. What are we rating this for the longs? Mathematical upside probabilities here. We're talking about a lot of good stuff here. Good earnings beats. We're talking about a small cap that is usually traded within my type of trades. I like small caps, right? So Joe H giving it a very good rating of C. Mark Roach giving this a B plus. What else do we got, guys? What else do we got? What do we got? What do we got? All right, so Indra H giving this a B minus. Very nice, very nice. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This could present something very nice. And let's see, Dame Time giving this a B as well, guys. Look at the sentiment behind this. We have a C, a B plus, B minus, B. This is all in line. This is very much in line. I like it. My goodness, man. I know that there's a huge when you have a huge gap like this, guys, please remember it's actually from this zone right here, right? Please remember that if we ever did pull back, Candace Morrison with a B, look at that, you guys. So very likely we can use that as a support. More often than not, we can come right back down here, but it's not suggesting that whatsoever. I don't even think we'll have the chance to load up at 258, which would be absolutely bullish. But that's I really don't see that coming whatsoever. All right, you guys, 296 is actually the potential to where I'm seeing entry and after a pullback. So so look at that. Mark Roach saying LLAP rocketed 71.4% on heavy volume to pace all pre-market gainers after the satellite products market maker announced contract valued at $2.4 billion to produce a total of 300 satellites. Yeah, this is not bad whatsoever, man. Oh my goodness. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. And in my personal opinion, Mr. J, are you really older than us? How old are you, my bro? Please let me know in the chat right now, my dude. So Mark Roach saying $422 million market cap and $2.4 billion contract. Wow, yeah, I'm telling you that this is for real. Like, it's for real something. And if I'm going to give it a rating, guys, it's only because I don't know the statistical upside on this, but all probabilities are leading to that upside, right? So yeah, it honestly is, or it's in the process of actually being evaluated what it could be, or it's facing its potential soon, right? So, but yeah, let's see. Hound saying a Bank of America analyst upgraded the price target to $7 a couple of days ago. No way. Wow, so it's very much confluent to where volatility versus momentum are landing, suggesting an upside. So, yeah, in my own personal opinion, guys, I would have given this a higher target, but B minus is actually my run on this one, and particular to it being a small cap, right in the pocket of where I like to trade. So this is very good. So yeah, guys, good play here, good play. I'm gonna go ahead and make a note of this. Thank you so much for recommending this one, Moderator Hound. Thank you so much. Awesome opportunities here. So Long Rating is giving this one a B minus, right? So good stuff, guys. I love it. Let's move on to now the next ticker, okay? And I'm not sure. Yeah, LSF. Okay, so this was a ticker that was actually from the early requests in the ticker picker from Discord, right? So please make sure to hit the like button if you're already in here, guys. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's stimulate that algorithm so we can get some more people in the chat, right, you guys? Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Let's continue on the analysis now for ticker symbol LSF. Right away, I want to talk about this potential bear flag happening here with a confirmation or validation and a potential second validator of the resistance, okay? So daily time frame. Also, okay, another thing to notice here is that it is I mean, this could very much be a bearish engulfing right over here, right? Slightly higher red body, slightly lower green body opening, right? So there is a bearish engulfing there. And if we are to consider the downside from that, of course, it would fail the triangle, then figure out where it can actually come back, test that resistance, maybe even test it again before a continuation to the way down. I'm not sure that that's the case just yet, of course. Let's validate, though. Let's go ahead and see what we have for momentum. Here's another indication of a potential pullback. Take a look at this. We are approaching that 14-day simple moving average, and it's getting dangerously close to that resistance zone. We can only assume that we can correlate that resistance with the 14-day simple of the RSI alongside the gravitational pull of the bull weakness percentile. Okay, so this would serve as 3 points of resistance. You have the 14-day simple RSI. You have the the gravitational zone of the RSI2, sorry, and also the resistance point of this triangle. Okay, so if we're going to gauge price objective for this, let's go ahead and take a trend line from the top side of the triangle to the lowest end of the triangle, right? So in this case, we can then apply that, we apply that trend line to the breakout point, which is this candle here, right? And this is suggesting a downside target of about $1.01. Okay, so there is some, I mean, $1.01 is literally the closing of this candle here. Let's see. Yeah, you can actually see the close value here, right up here. Take a look at that candle. So that's the closing of, no, sorry, which candle was it? Let me go back. There we go. This candle right over here. Go ahead and take a look up there. So 101 is literally that same area that it's suggesting. And also the wick low of this one is also, take a look right up here. Okay, look at the wick low, 101. So there is rhyming with prior price action, right? So historical value is of great importance when we're looking at discretionary trading or you know, just charting, right? So I like that we have the SMA 10 here. That's nice. It could mean that we're actually gonna fake out and continue on to the upside, but let's validate that. So let's go on and move to the 30-minute immediate short term. Okay, so Mr. J saying 49, but you're old. My dude, 49 years old is not old, but you're definitely older than me. I'm 37. So, but a lot of my friends are literally 40, 47, 48, 49 years old. Some of my best friends actually are that age. So let's go ahead and now continue on the analysis here, particular to the 30-minute time frame RSI. We have consolidation on that 30-minute. We cannot suggest that, okay? So, Mr. J, and please go ahead and notice here on the SMA 14 that we do have a little bit of downside suggestion, and we also have the RSI signal suggesting a little bit of consolidation as well. In fact, this could be. We're facing an upside here on the buy hourly to only face resistance from the gravitational pull and the 14-day. The reason why I'm saying that is because the RSI signal is sitting right below the median here. So this is going to get pulled up, and it'll eventually find that 14-day simple. It's suggesting consolidation there too, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so 6 hour now is also suggesting slight consolidation as well, a little bit of an upside, but please notice your 14-day simple suggesting some downside here. Okay, so there is a lot of thinking happening within this, and let's see. There's consolidation on the 8 hour as well. My goodness, man. So I'm not sure that the longs are ready to let go. Consolidation on the 12 hour. The daily has that very, very small resistance that we were looking at, right? Okay, so if we're going to look at the buy daily, we're pressuring that 14-day simple to the upside. And 3-day is suggesting that downside. Okay, so limited upside is still what I'm going with here, you guys. So and it's really much very much in reference to the daily. Okay, so the daily is essentially going to make this touch of the resistance of the 14 alongside that resistance from the triangle, right? And then I would see us start to try to make the move all the way back down to the space of about 101 to about 107, and then we can see where this goes. Okay, so I don't see any reason why this would move up, other than just for technical reasons. But now this is essentially the target that I'm looking at. And we can also validate that target too. You know, we can take a fib from the previous day's swing high to swing low and see if it actually recommends that target with a golden ratio. So actually it does. The 2.272 at $1 exactly, and the 1.618 at 105. That 2 fib at 102, right at the 101 target that we're looking at. So yeah, it's highly likely that we would face this in about a couple days. So guys, make sure to be very careful if you are long the ticker symbol LSF. Okay, so this is suggesting a little bit of a downside, and I would practice caution here. And in the event to where you're looking at, if you're already if you're long on this like 124 and you're at 118, removing liquidity or literally liquidating at 119 could be, or 118 and 119 could be a very smart area to kind of maybe get out of this. Okay, so what average volume you see on LSF? So actually I could see that. Let me see. Hold on. And there it would be particular to a moving average. So I can, let me see the volume moving average. I can add it. Let me just move this a little bit further up, and this as well. Okay, so yeah, relative volume. We're right. I mean, we're right at it right now. I mean, it's already been testing that average. So this means that I'm telling you, this is still in accordance of what I'm talking about. So if we're going to be looking at the prior candles, we're looking at a resistance very soon, and it's very much in line with the resistance of the triangle. So this is I mean, today I have a 10-day average. You're looking at about 24,000. Could it possibly be? I mean, we're already at the average now, so we could face that resistance soon. Man, and it's really low, and it's declining too. Shoot. Let's see. Usually this type of price action indicates triangles, right? But I'm sorry, this volume parameter. But no, I don't see it. I thought I saw it here with a descending or a falling wedge, but no, it's more in the line of like maybe even a channel here. So this one's a little confusing too. So please take a look at this. This is essentially what I'm looking at. It could be. I'm just saying it could be, right? Because there is it looks like it's following some type of trend, right? So the downside here being suggested at about 101 could very much face the downside all the way. I'm sorry, this is the next daily candle would face the support range of about 97 cents at the 2.618, which is in line with the descending channel. So the average 10-day volume being 24K here, and the volume from today was just 4,000. No way. Have we had any bigger? Okay, 119. Let's see this one here, 110. Yeah, very, very low volume on this. So this has a, and the average true range is probably below 60 cents on this, or literally below 50. It's meaning that it's a very slow mover. So I wouldn't actually recommend getting long this ticker until, yeah, seriously, look at this last candle iteration here. It's 4,000. So, in fact, let me see the market cap. So 10 million market cap, and the float is small. So 6.13 mil. So yeah, it could, it's a slow mover, right? And this means that it's going to bleed you out very slowly if you don't consider exiting this. So again, guys, take a look at this. So the resistance of the the bear flag is the resistance of the channel as well. So giving it even more validation and more credibility. I see downside coming in after a short-term upside. Okay, so that upside, actually this could be a pretty cool short. Getting short this stock, the range of about 120 to about 121 could be an interesting entry for this, right? So covering maybe 60% position at about 107. Then if I'm talking about scalp positions between 108 and 107, full liquidation or full cover would be at about $1. I would suggest actually 102 or 103 just to make sure that you do get that entry, right? And if you want to do runners too, I would keep maybe 5 to 7% runners to test the 97 cent zone. So that would be a not bad short scalp, right? Let me see. It would be about a 20% gainer if you're 18% or 19% gainer if you're looking at the bottom target, right? So you would just have to be very careful in the targets that you actually cover, right? Because longs tend to see this. Please notice that you have this. This could be a little bit of a bear trap here, because you have the SMA 50 located right at the top side of our discretion, right? So I'm talking about the wick lows here that could be an area to where you can get stopped out as a short position. So you'd have to be very careful here. But yeah, guys, LSF is and also expect. I'm actually short scalping this. I don't think you can actually scalp it because it would take maybe 2 or 3 days to actually fulfill the full 17-18%. So in a short bias, I'm also not sure actually that I would take the trade because it's a slow mover. You want to, when you're looking at average true range when you're trading, yeah, we're definitely not going to rate this one. When you're looking at average true range when you're trading, consider trading anything above 90 cents average true range. So if you've never heard of it, it's ATR. You can actually find it as an indicator, but you can actually make the math on it yourself. TradingView also has the potential for, it has a built-in scanner, right? So when you pull up your filters, you can tell it actually to, where the hell are my filters? Why it's not pulling everything up? Let's see, descriptive. Oh my goodness. I don't know why it's not popping up, but when you do pull up your screener filters, it'll tell you an area where it says ATR, right? Or you can even search it. You can even search it here. So the ATR is the average true range. Look for things that are on a daily moving more than 90 cents. Okay, so when you do that, then you can actually start to find movers on your own without actually relying on any other popular ticker or whatever. So following the actual strategies that traders do without any notion of whoever is talking about what. You just look at your particular criteria. You look at your actual like filter, right? And then you can make this move happen without anyone's assistance. So more stuff that you're going to learn in the ARC Masters Trading course, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and finish off this by rating it, okay, you guys? No, actually, no, we can't rate this. We said no rating. So let's go ahead and put this down for a no rating for the longs. We need to make sure that we can protect some people, not get anyone trapped in this, because there could be the interest of shorts opening up very soon on this, okay, you guys? So that definitely does it for ticker symbol LSF. Very good. Very much love that everybody is participating today. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's move on, though, as I do have to take a look at ticker symbol HDUP next, followed by CLNV. Okay, so let's look at this ticker and see what it's got. I just needed to load all of the damn thing to see what we got in line. Okay, hold on just a quick sec, you guys, and let's see. All right, so yeah, you guys, so in this particular case, I wanted to point out on the daily chart that there is a massive regression happening, and it seems to be respected in a macro perspective. So we're looking at 2016 March, and very interesting that we would make the upside within the same range of time, right? So we're in late February approaching March, right? So very interesting that it did get that upside, right? So I wanted to see if this has any correlation into that, but it may very well just be an ascending channel too. HDUP, I'm not exactly sure why it's moving to the upside. It's never really had an earnings miss either, so this is good. Let's look at the float and the cap and see what it's got for us. So HDUP has, let's see, a market cap. We don't even have the float. It's actually 15.5 mil on that market cap. So it is a high risk play, and it has moved violently to the upside even still. Very curious to see that price action happen like that. Go ahead and take a look at this. My goodness. So let me hide this screen right over here and see what we got in line for this ticker. Moving average is up, and let's see. All right, so we have, okay, so we have the 200-day exponential moving average at about 8 cents. We're sitting at 0600, and the top side target today was 0684. Okay, so I mean, it's a tiny valuation, which means that at any moment somebody can manipulate this. So this, in judging by raw price action, we still have some upside to go relevant to that SMA 200. So this thing is actually trying to prepare to make a macro change in direction in price and trend. So this is really trying to get into the positive side of price action before continuing on to that upside. So let's go ahead and refer to our momentum and start just like we always do on that 30-minute immediate short term. So 30-minute is suggesting, actually, since we are very close to that gravitational zone, there could be a small pullback here. And the way we can see where that possibility could be is by loading up maybe some exponentials. So let's go ahead and move on and look at this. Okay, so the pullback could very well be right down to this EMA 30, which could be at 538. That's a little aggressive even still. Okay, so historically speaking, let's see if there's anything combating that. Okay, so it would be the space of about 552 prior resistances all the way to the left of the screen, right? So those prior resistances there would be in line with the SMA 50, and that would honestly be the spot to consider entering, maybe 0552. As there is upside being, I see it. I see the upside in this right now. So let me just go ahead and go, let's see, 0552. Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw that trend line there and put down that this could be a very viable area for entering, right? So now let's go to the buy hourly and see. Buy hourly is suggesting a limited downside as well. If we were to correlate the current price of about 06, about just dead flat, 6 cents, to the area, take a look at the exponential, the 7 period exponential here on the buy hourly, in line with the SMA, with the EMA 30 of the 30-minute. So very, very confluent targets here. So the space between the 14-day simple and the RSI signal could very much be correlated to that area there. Now, because of this buy hourly candle, the wick high of this landing at about 530, now that actually gives me a little bit of a range to consider a type of entry here. So about 530 to about 0552, and this would honestly be a pretty good loading zone for this regarding the buy hourly. Let's continue puzzling this together though. So the 6 hour, let's see what the RSI has to say on that 6 hour. So a slight, yeah, this is not credible. We don't know that this is actually going to go to the downside or to the upside. The only thing that we can suggest here is the fact that it's landing right in that gravitational zone of the overbought percentile. So there could be a slight pullback here, which is honestly it is correlated to the pullback we're seeing in the immediate short-term time frame. And we have right now, we're sitting at the support of that SMA 200 6 hour, right? So I'm not sure that this is going to be able to hold it enough. Still looking at that loading zone of about 551. Let's go ahead and move on to that 8 hour and see what it's got. Okay, so 8 hour suggesting a limited downside as well. The 8 hour giving validation actually to that 531 level. If this is going to continue to a lower target, then I would highly consider the 5 cent, the dead 5 cents. Okay, so now you can see how I start to build, right? The areas of interest, just in a very discretionary way, right? By the way, so let's go ahead and see the daily and see what it's got. Okay, so it's starting to pit. Okay, so the daily is where it's at. 12 hour, my goodness. Okay, so the loading zone could be in the following session, guys, followed by a continuation onto the upside. It could be into the after hours tomorrow if this thing even has after hours, right? So no, it doesn't. So it's all good. This is, this is the loading zone. Again, I'm going to give it to you one more time. The total loading zone would be dead 5 cents to about to about 550. Okay. So that is the loading zone for this before suggesting a continuation to the upside. And look at this, the 12-hour upside on that RSI, right? We have upside on the daily. By daily is just rocket shipping, right? So this is very cool. The 3-day is now entering the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, suggesting upside even still. And the 5-day, my goodness, man, guys, yeah, this is suggesting a pretty violent upside, and it could be realized maybe not tomorrow. I mean, depending on FOMO and depending on sentiment, but maybe not tomorrow. If it is tomorrow, I'm thinking maybe by the end of the session, right? But definitely into maybe Monday, this can still rip to the upside. I like the play. It's just high risk because of the low valuation, right? And the small market cap. I'm not even sure if anybody caught the float on this, but I can't see the float. I can only assume it's very small, of course. But this is still suggesting upside. So chat, let's go ahead and dive in. You now know the loading zones and the upside. Sorry, hold on. Let's get the upside. Based on a 12-hour period. Let's get that upside first, okay? Let's see. Come on, man. Who hired this guy right here? Okay, so we'll take the swing high to the swing low daily fib, right? So, yeah, very likely. I was talking to you guys about 0846, right? So go ahead and notice that the 1.618 at 0809, absolutely relevant, okay? So, definite pullback from this area here, likely to come back and test our current highs of about 681 before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, so this could, if you're looking at long trade from the top side of the loading zone to the SMA 200 or the 1.618, let's take a measurement of that. Okay, so let's do it from here to just under the 1.618. You never want to get right to it, right? So you're looking at a 41% gainer to that area from the first loading zone. I'm not even talking about the lower ones, right? So this does have opportunity in it. So it's I'm not gonna lie, this is a good looking play so far. And let me see the volume today. Actually, 1.6 mil, and yesterday was 3.1 mil. Okay, so man, and the prior iterations were 45,000, 6,000, 104. 22,000, 2,000. So the volume coming in right now is absolutely massive, and it's trying to rocket ship. Like I said, in the macro time frame, maybe even the daily, it looks like it's trying to succeed the SMA 200, but there's a lot to combat there. Okay, the 1.618 would be a great area to take profit for longs, right? So let's go ahead and now, yeah, literally 4 times the average. So now, guys, chat, let's go ahead and dive in and rate the trade. What are we rating this? D- would be your max loss. D+ would be your break even. Let's rate it from D- to about an A+, right? Stick Vicious saying, sorry peeps, gotta roll out. Make sure to check out the poll that Cal L put up in the Discord general chat. 14 votes so far. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stick Vicious. My battle. Have a good night. Rest well, okay, my dude, and thank you for looking out for the people here. Indra H giving this a C+. Mark Roach giving it a D- because you don't like it. That's absolutely something that you guys gotta know, guys. That it is a high risk play. Okay, so the average is 523,000, and it's only up because of what happened today, I'm sure. So let's see. So we're getting, what's your rating on GDVM? I haven't even seen it, by the way. Hold on just a sec. So Mark Roach saying it's risky. I agree. I definitely agree with that. And Joe H giving this a C- as well, guys. So I see the potential into making an upside on this, right? So the thing is that it's very, very small. So this is prone to getting some type of manipulation, right? But there is an upside, and I see the interest here from the longs finding their take profit here. Okay, so if I were to give this just my own rating, guys, I'm not personally the biggest fan of this this asset, but to give it an unbiased type of rating here, I would give this a C+, and I would just express for you to keep tight stops. Okay, when you say tight, it means that take no risk that you are not willing to lose. Okay, so meaning that if you are looking at, and let's just say that your entry was that 0497 or dead 5 cents, right? So you would look at historically and what other areas are below 5 cents. So this target could be one, and this space here. So if we can put ourselves just under that, here's a gap too, right? So this gap could very well be one of your stop losses, particular to the bottom end of it and just under it. So maybe your stop loss could be a 429 aggressive one. So the tight stop loss would actually land at about 455, which is just a fragment away from that 5 cent entry, right? So this is what I mean by tight. Okay, so meaning no if it doesn't play your way, it just doesn't play your way. You lose minimal and you move on. Screw it, right? So this is why I'm saying that I see the upside. C pluses are usually not heavy portfolio, just for you to speculate, and knowing that you don't have any other plays that are absolutely in the B's, right? So this one could actually do it. So C- on that, on Joe H. Thank you. Randy Campbell, C+. I agree with you guys. Hound giving it a C. Seems like it could put in a fifth Elliott wave on the 30-minute, third leg up. Let's see. 30-minute, you're looking at the E wave, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're looking at A, B, C, D, E, which would be which would definitely be that leg. And the third higher high, structurally speaking, right? So I don't practice Elliott wave as much, but I do know some Elliott wave theory, and it is pretty much practicing that. So, yeah, guys, not bad, not bad whatsoever. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and rate this, right? So we left it a rating of about C+. I'll make sure to note it down right now. We can refer to it later. All right, so now the long-awaited ticker symbol CLNV, right? We need to take a look at what that has for us. Let me just prepare these RSIs. I had everything already pre-prepared, right? But or prepared, sorry. But I had to shut down the trading view, remember? So I hate it when that happens. It's just I'm not exactly sure why we were having a little bit of lag. But it's all good, you guys. It's no problem. CLNV is still looking very healthy, by the way. I'm liking it. Randy Campbell saying HDUP will come out of a mandated quiet period on or before March 15th as a part of a multi-party. Wow, no way. Wow. So encompassing new market product launches, key acquisitions and closings, and business unit consolidations, all leading to the company's merger and listing on a higher tier exchange. Very cool information. So I see why it's doing what it's doing, right? So I mean, like I said, it's just such a small valuation, meaning that if you're looking at 7 cents, 5 cents, right? Throw in, I'm talking about to the whales here, right? I'll do it. I'll even do it if I had that kind of cash or that kind of liquidity. But just to put it into test, I would throw in $20,000 just for shits and giggles, just for you to see how price action can move on 5 cents. So Randy Campbell saying Twitter news hits yesterday. So that is why I jump, in my opinion. Yeah, it's running on news, right? So that's good. I definitely see it. And yeah, if you have time, I would like to hear your thoughts on GDVM. Like I said, guys, I do have an immense schedule, right? So I'll go ahead and add it no matter what, and we can still look at it in future streams if we're not looking at it tonight, okay? So, I mean, thank you so much for your participation, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Man, guys, that's so cool that Kal-El is doing that. Him and I speak so much, right? And he actually remembers what I talk about. That's so cool, dude. Thank you. I definitely don't want to predict anything. I just want to show you guys the forecast. It's absolutely true. So let me just open up the window here because it's getting dangerously hot for your boy. And you guys know what happens when that heat gets crazy in here. It actually starts to make the computers get too hot, right? And then you start to get those power issues. Let me just open up this window real quick. Oh man. All right. And I'm not actually, if you are near near the Palmdale area, right, which is where I live, this is it's snowing outside. I'm in California, guys. It is for real white outside. It's snowing, which is already an incredible thing to look at. It's actually very beautiful to notice this in California, right? I mean, if you are near the area, step outside and go ahead and take a look. Mark Roach knows already. It's snowing. So I thought we were going to have internet issues, but I'm very excited that we're not. And I think that could have been some of the lag that we were looking at earlier. Samantha, how you doing? Good to see you here. Very good to see you. So yeah, that was just particular to that, right, you guys? So I want to just go ahead and move on to CLNV, but I want to take a sip of water. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Where's that flask? There we go. All right, so what do we got for CLNV? Wow, man. Still continuing that upside, so it for sure made it. Oh, man. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Indra H saying, I thought it never even rained in California. It rains a lot, actually, but I really would like to express how beautiful it is outside to see that snow. It's just such a change of pace, right? But anyway, you guys, let's move on. Let's move right along into, yeah. Mark Roach posted some snow videos in Discord. Thank you. It's very cool to see. So guys, yeah, let's go ahead and get started on CLNV now and see what it's got for retail, because I think I still see a continuation to the upside. Man, this thing has really killed shorts, right? Good stuff. All right, let's I literally have nothing to say about this. Man. Oh, that is so violent. Okay, so when we're looking at overextensions like this, guys, we do have to we do have to start looking at the prior price action and understand why we're stopping, where we're stopping, right? So go ahead and notice that we are looking at 1220 at the current price action right now, right? So let's get rid of the moving averages and get rid of I'm sorry, yeah, both the moving averages. Go ahead and take a look at the relevance of the resistance we're facing right now, okay? That little dim green line is right where we're sitting. So we have resistance here from all of these areas, okay? So very much, it is practicing the price action the way it should be, right? So actually, you can't see all these little candles here, but this is when, again, we would use Heikin-Ashi candles to see what the price action did, before us, right? I'm sorry, before our current position. So I definitely like how we're at. I definitely like how the resistance is being faced right now. Price action came up all the way to about what, 12, let's see, about 1275, where we did face these resistances as well. I'm going to go back to the traditional candles because I need to be really precise about this. I can't use Heikin-Ashi candles all the time because they don't present, they're a little too averaged for my personal taste. I just need to use them sometimes to see where the trend is going. So they're directional, right? So I want to know what's happening just in trend with them, and then I go back. So let's move on to the next chart and take a look at what we got here for CLNV. Okay, so very interesting thing here, guys, that we have to pay attention to. Okay, actually, Moderator Hound brought up something in the Discord talking about a potential iteration that happens in. I'm not even sure what time frame you were using, by the way, but it looked like you were using maybe the bi-daily or the 3-day, or maybe even the daily. But RSI is starting to make a very similar pivot to where it has done it in the past before a downside, before a capitulation. So we're gonna refer to that on the daily, right? So that was that was this one here. He referred to two other iterations where we had that small pivot right now, right? So the Moderator Hound, very sharp for this, right? So take a look at this. We have on the daily, right? Yeah, I figured. So you have this pivot here and then an upside, right? Very similar to the last times where you had a pivot and then the upside, pivot and then the upside. And those just happen to be in relation to let me just show you. We'll go ahead and open up just one pane right here, because it is something to kind of keep in mind. Of course, there's only two iterations of which we can't really trust because it's not enough historical value, right? But if we're looking at those potentials, then historically speaking, we are reaching a top. But let's look back and see if there's any higher that we can go, and then you'll likely start to see that there could be. Okay, so here's one iteration to where we've actually gone past. So we still have some headroom, right? So 94.75, and we're currently sitting at about, let's see, at about 81%. So this is the largest, or this is the highest that RSI momentum has ever reached, historically speaking, right? So we would need to take a look at a couple components, though. First of all, referencing back to that 12-hour. Volatility versus momentum, we're now officially in critical expansion, which is within the 90 percentile of volatility, right? So right in here, you can see that the moving average is literally, 90.88, right? So the moving average is now in it, as well as the volatility component, which means that when you pair it with momentum and suggesting a downside, there is a risk to the downside. The thing here is that it's not always the case, because take a look at here, huge fake out, right? And we were already suggesting downside from very close to overbought. So we're suggesting the downside. It was in critical volatility, and then it's still rocket ship to the upside, which is literally this whole move. So this was a huge bear trap. Right. So, and it was a move, honestly, that we have been looking at. Right. We looked at it. We've been talking about this upside for a while. So this is why I'm saying that it could be just a small corrective or reaccumulation phase before continuing on to the upside. So the way we can understand that as well is to look historically again. So now this time in stochastic momentum, which is very similar to RSI. It's just a different algorithm that uses 14-day simple versus a 3-day exponential moving average for determining the upside or downside, right? Fast versus slow moving. So go ahead and notice that historically speaking, we have reached the, let's see, wow, so 95 percentile. So that's above 95%. We're currently sitting with a small downside pivot of about 85%, and we topped out here at about, let's see, 90%. So I'm not saying that that is the case, but this could be just one of these, like these right here. Okay, so it could be that before facing some resistance soon. At some point, it has to face the resistance, right? So, and to be honest with you, I'm still looking at that. I'm still looking at the target of about, I would have to pair this along with the 1435 to about, I would say not the not 618 at 1290. 1291 was the resistance that we faced today. The one spot 618. I understand that it was probably 1288 or 1275, but I'm talking about we did reach the geometric target in essence, right? So just shy of it. So the resistance zone was in fact between 1291 and 1435, right? But now, if I'm speaking from a discretionary point, I'm looking at 1435 to 1613 being that top side. Okay, so if that happens, then our statistical upside of 208% would essentially top out at just about 140%. So it's not bad. 135, 36, whatever that is, right? So remember, statistics are not certainties, right? So we just have to take them with a grain of salt and understand that it's just an average, right? So the average is still suggesting an upside, and the fact that we're landing in critical volatility and we have a little bit of a downside pivot worries me a little bit, but it's still, I can't validate this as a downside continuation pattern. Let me go down to the 8-hour and see what momentum says. So this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. So it's doing this thing here, which may actually do that pivot, which is what I'm talking about on the 12-hour. I'm not sure if it's actually going to do it. So we'll verify it now with RSI. We'll use a few tools that you know can help. So all of these are in critical contraction, by the way. 4-hour. Let me see the bi-hourly. My goodness. So wow, okay, so 6-hour, 4-hour, we have the 8-hour in critical as well, the 12-hour in critical. Daily is now ending. Okay, so check this out now. This is what I meant by a continuation to the upside. Notice how the daily time frame, the daily is where we got that the 208% move to the upside. And it's based off 6 iterations, of which 6 were guessed correctly to the upside using volatility versus momentum. 100% accuracy on 6 iterations is great, but at some point it's going to fail. But now it's 7 out of 7, still maintaining 100%, right? So since we actually just realized this, and this is particular to critical contraction into expansion, right? And also with momentum suggesting an upside. So daily is still suggesting an upside, while the smaller time frames are starting to slow down just a little bit, which makes me feel. And go ahead and notice here, this is from critical contraction by daily, suggesting upside and still suggesting upside. This is why I'm telling you that maybe the 12-hour is signaling that it could just very slightly pull back between the areas of, guys, know that I don't know when things are going to pull back or how they're going to pull back, is because this is now psychologically impaired. Okay, so if we're looking at just traditional trading rules, we could look at a pullback to the 1093, load up again and then rip this thing to 1434 to 1613, which is essentially what I'm looking at starting from the daily and the bi-daily, okay, of momentum versus volatility. So this is still suggesting the upside that we want, right? So now in reference to RSI, the daily is still pivoted directly to the upside, right? Of course, we're looking at a limited upside, so which could very well be that top out that we're looking at. Now, as far as capitulation, I don't think it would actually capitulate, because there's a lot of good news surrounding CLNV and their clean power, their whole clean power narrative, right? So they're doing good. So if we are able to maybe face a capitulation from this, I don't think it would capitulate. It would actually come back to maybe 8 cents to reload and then continue on to that upside. But everything is really overextended already. It's overbought. And let's go ahead and now look at the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame RSI. Okay, so we're going to look at all of those pains together, actually. So let's, and that's not the one. I remember I used the old method in this one, which is the 4 panes, right? So let's go ahead and load that up and take a look here. Okay, so 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is suggesting that limited downside that we literally just talked about, right? So we just have a small downside before an upside, and the upside is validated with the bi-hourly, and the bi-hourly is actually making an important cross above that 14-day simple, which is good. This is great. Look at this. It's making the cross above that 14 simple, suggesting a continuation to that upside. So good. All right, now let's look at the, let me actually move back down to the 8-hour. And yeah, go ahead and take a look at the 8-hour is also suggesting an upside. We have that 14-day simple also pivoted towards the upside. Huge bullish divergence here on the 8-hour. Nice, very nice. Let's move on now. So let's go up to the daily. Okay, daily is still with that upside. Buy daily is just entering actually the overbought percentile, and it's now outside, actually 1% outside of the gravitational zone that would push it down. So, and now the 3-day should be inside. Wow, look at this. Okay, so there's still, guys, there's still upside. There's a lot of upside. A lot of upside to still look at for CLNV. And if that's really the case, then remember first the target that I gave you. Okay, the first target that I gave you was that 1434 to 1613. But if we're looking at the bi-daily, the 3-day, the 5-day, and weekly, then it'll essentially realize first of all the statistical upside. It'll realize the 208% to 2106, followed by realizing the then you would face a massive pullback by this. Like it would be a pretty large take profit zone. A lot of people are going to be, their lives are going to be changed here. Okay, so the next zone would be the price objective from the daily pennant. So this pennant on the daily time frame has a price objective that you can actually take a trend line from, right? So you get it from the top side of the triangle to the lower end of the triangle, and then you apply it to the area of breakout, so which was this candle here. That is suggesting a target of about 2740, I think it was. Let me pull that up. Yeah, about 2745, thus realizing 300% of the 208% statistical move, which was actually right up here, which has a lot of rhyming with the 4-spot 236 just upside of the 3-spot 618. So guys, this is I'm still seeing the upside here. Okay, so the fact that it's going to pull back and up, it's only natural because people start to get a little scared on this, right? This is massive upside still. But remember, over the span of 76 days, we're looking at a 208 spot 11% move on average. Okay, so it's what has it realized thus far? But let's see. To the 1-spot 618 where we were just today, it has made an 86% move to the upside from the target where it fired, which was right over here on this candle here. Right at 684 was when I signaled the upside is explosive. I actually signaled it right around in here. So this is good, man. I see the pullback happening, and it's very well. I can't give you an exact target, but what I can tell you is that it's between 21 and 27 cents in a few days, and this would actually make us come back down to test maybe the 8-cent area, 9-cent area, right around there, and then continue on to the upside. Macro moves for CLNV is what I'm saying essentially. All right, you guys. So now we know the play for CLNV. Longs, let's go ahead and rate it. What are we rating this? D- would be your max loss. D+ would be your break even. So let's rate it from D- to A+. What are we saying? Chat, dive into the chat. Let's go ahead and see what we got. And Hound, thank you so much for pointing that out, by the way. So, I mean, this is good stuff. Randy Campbell giving it a B+, even still. Very nice, very nice. So Weston Harris giving it an A-. Hound with an A-. My goodness, you guys, look at that. Renaissance Wolf giving this a B+. Interesting ratings here. Very good sentiment over this. Mark Roach saying 1 year and it's up 277%. Very cool. Samantha H giving this, Mark Roach giving it an A-. Samantha H a A-. Cryptic Trader giving it a C-. Mr. J rating is no comment on this one. Okay, you guys. So there is, guys, you have to be very careful when things are crazy overextended like this, which could actually, rate this down. It'll downrate it, right? But statistically speaking, the signal is still absolutely fired. You know, we were looking at contraction to expansion with an upside suggestion of momentum, and momentum is not giving just yet. So because I know the math on this is kind of why I would me personally, right? So take a look at that. We have some more ratings coming in. Mike H giving this a B plus, and curious how many giving a rating actually own it. I don't think it matters. I think that the rating could actually be biased to just express your opinion on. It would be better that you don't own it, right? That you didn't own it, right? Weston Harris owns it, right? I do not own it, by the way, you guys. I am not long this stock, as it missed my entry where I said with my, with my son, right? So I would in fact encourage the people who don't own it to really rate this. So Samantha H does not own it. Mark Roach saying good point. Cryptic Trader saying I sold it already. These kinds of stocks always dump once sentiment dries. Absolutely true. That's why I'm saying you guys got to be very careful, right? So Mark Roach also does not own it. Samantha H saying I wish, right? Mike H owns a massive 28,000 shares. Very cool. Very cool. So you can see that there's a fair amount of people here that actually don't own it, and me as well. In my person, guys, I have to give this a buy rating now because now I'm in the area to consider this a fair play already. Okay, so Mr. J saying an A plus, Hottie could sway me. Hound saying I'm up big already, so maybe I'm a little extra bullish. So I mean, here's the thing, you guys. So yes, of course, it's very cheap, right? So at any moment somebody could take profit on this. So even, for example, Mike H takes the profit of 28,000 shares. That'll push the price a couple percent down, or maybe a percent or two. Who knows, right? But in this case, since I know the math and I know the probabilities, and we're actually at about 100% and continuing, I would have to give this a buy rating now. So the buy rating is in respects to a lower rating than I previously gave it. So in my personal opinion, I'm giving this a C plus to a B minus now. Okay, so and I think it's fair. And the reason why I'm saying it's fair is because of the 160% move or whatever that we've already done. That's from 208% upside thrust that we had statistically figured. I would consider that fair. I'm sorry. We've moved 86% thus far, right? So I would consider that fair already, right? So, and I'm talking about not giving you a first standard deviation here. So I'm not looking at the lower end of the first standard, and I'm also not giving you the higher end of the first standard. This is actually right in between, right? So let's see. Randy Campbell saying, once dividend locks on Monday, I see a take profit, sell off, and sell back up after it finds support. That's kind of like what I'm looking at too. It could, and short-term resistance could be right at 1435, right? Or about 1613 before we face a pullback to the 1.272, 1180 could be an entry zone, right? Before actually finding and figuring out maybe between the spot of about 19 to 21 cents, but then it would pull back heavily. Cryptic Trader saying I just don't trust Frank Plays, right? So he's too much of a used car salesman. Oh my goodness. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, of course, you guys. So that's why I do not trust in any type of fundamental news. I actually trust only the numbers. I trust just the statistics and probabilities. So so guys, just definitely keep an eye on the numbers, right? But in my case, I feel like this almost 90% move to the upside is more than fair, right? So, and we've been talking about this upside for a while. So good stuff. I like it. Okay, so let's go ahead and now finish off CLNV with a buy rating, right? So I don't like to give buy ratings all the time, right? But sometimes they feel like they should be given, right? So the buy rating was actually a C plus, and it's modified now, by the way. So C plus to B minus. Very good stuff, guys. I appreciate everybody chiming in, and I appreciate everybody expressing their opinions more than anything. And why is because this really shows how the sentiment is, right? So we can learn from each other and really discuss this and see just how we feel, right? Good stuff. So Hound saying, I may try to play the swings that you just mentioned. Yeah, man. At that point, you're looking at take profit between the space of about 1435 to 1613. Pull out, right? We come back into between 1180 and 1291. Ride it up again into about 1823 to about 1934. Pull back to 16 to 15, and then from 15 we load up and ride to 21, and then it pulls back heavily, right? So that's kind of like how we can, guys. Yeah, guys, go. Cal L. Cal L saying, I don't trust anyone. I trust Arca's analysis, though. One hundo. Guys, take what I say as a grain of salt. Know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos. It's just a form of entertainment, okay? I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever, okay? Do your own due diligence. Everything will be just fine. All right, so Randy Campbell saying, in Arca we trust. Guys, I trust in you. So Hound saying, might take some profit over to GTI soon, too. Yeah, GTI is facing that very soon. We're going to see that that touch, right, regarding this ascending channel. I'm really thinking right here, man. I actually, guys, I'm going to be transparent with you. I may get long GTI 132, potential 130, 131, right around there, because I have reason to believe that this may be the adjusted target per this ascending channel. So very good stuff. Mark Roach saying to like and subscribe. Absolutely, guys. Please make sure to like, so we can stimulate that algo and get some more people up in the chat so we can get some tickers out of the way, right? So let's go ahead and now finish off ticker symbol CLNV. And I'm not sure if Lil AR15 is still in the chat, but Lil AR15 actually came by and asked for me to take a look at ticker symbol CING. I'm not really familiar with that ticker whatsoever, and I don't know what's going on with it, but it doesn't mean that we can't look at it, right? So let's go ahead and now pull that up and see what we got. So Mr. J is saying, good night, Arca Posse. Have a very good night, my dude. Take care. Be safe, and I'll catch you at the bell, all right, my dude? Always good to see you here, Mr. J. Thank you so much for your attendance. All right, guys, so yeah, I'm gonna create a new chart here, and this is gonna be for ticker symbol CING. Guys, I have time for one more ticker after this. It's gonna be ticker symbol FNGR. Okay, so let's go ahead and now take a look at this. Oh my goodness, I got scared right now looking at this huge upside on this freaking CLNV. I'm like, what? Another one? CING. Let's see what it's got for us. Okay, NASDAQ ticker, and that's Singulate Inc. To Singulate. Okay. So daily chart saying that we've been trading since about, wow, perfect time to open up your ticker, right? Right at the start of a recession. You're looking at, they started their ticker literally at the beginning of December 2021. November 2021 was when Bitcoin started to capitulate. And my buddies were like, yep, this is the big one. And these guys open up business. Oh, man, right at the blow off top. You can't do that, guys. Be very careful. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and now see what the potentials are for this ticker. I see already that it actually made that it's a really ugly ascending triangle, but it is there. Let me actually show you what I'm looking at. So could very well be right here, right? So, oh man, and that's why we faced that support today. Very, very close one there. Okay, and this would be the trend line that potentially would, no, I see it. Smaller one, which means that this could be traded in the 8-hour instead of the daily. So this is essentially the triangle that I'm looking at, right? Ascending triangle, potentially on the 12-hour or the 8-hour, but this is on the daily, right? So it is a bullish statement here. And the reason why I'm telling you that it is a bullish statement is from the fact that it actually is breaking market structure. Okay, so we have that lower high structure, right? And then this candle essentially came and invalidated the continuation of the downside. In fact, we actually succeeded the ascending triangle, and then we came back and tested and validated the support. It looks like we closed right above it. Okay, go ahead and take a look at the price action there. 111 is sitting right upside of the triangle's top trend line, right? So, which, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead and correct slightly here. Wow, that's the wrong trend line. Cool, guy. All right, here we go. You know, I get a little meticulous with these things. I get a little OCD with it, but I think that plays into the success of some good calls, right? Some, not all of them, guys. So, yeah, very interesting opening of the candle. It opened right at the support of the ascending triangle, right? So I want to say that this is a good sign that we're printing this arguably an inverted hammer. Okay, the fact is that we did come all the way down here and we're now all the way up here, so which would entail that this could be a shooting star, which would essentially tell us that there is downside to go, right? So there is that potential. Okay, Pabon saying thanks for everything you do. If you have time, could you take a quick look at AMC, my dude? Of course. I'll definitely try my best for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and just add that in. Thank you, by the way. That really means a lot. Okay, so guys, let's just go ahead and continue on the ticker here. Okay, so let's get momentum up and see what it's got for us. Okay. So I mean, the daily looks great, by the way. So let's start off with the immediate short-term time frame. Okay. Super overextended, very overextended on the 30-minute, and historically speaking, it looks like it's the highest it's ever reached. So I don't trust a little pivot here, but it is showing a little bit of weakness, and it's likely to live out really fast. Remember, the 30-minute, it's literally up and down all day, right? So the buy hourly is already suggesting that upside, and I presume that this, yeah, it's definitely not even close to, I'm sorry, there's no prior data. There's no historical data to tell us that this is the reversal point. So we're, in essence, we're in like price discovery when I'm talking about the RSI, not the actual price, the physical trading price, right? So let's see the 6-hour time frame. So the 6-hour time frame is almost comical here, just with that upside suggestion, right? So again, with the 6-hour, there's no historical value for us to tell us when we could potentially find a resistance from momentum, right? In a momentum perspective. 12 hours still moonshotting over here as well. Let's see the daily. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. So the daily is making a very important cross right now. Okay. So look at this. The daily is actually crossing above that 14-day simple, and it's actually attempting to approach that gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile, which would essentially take us to the next level up, or the next leg up. Okay, so Chase Cross saying Arca SCING at 213 after hours. So why am I not able to see that, by the way? Where's the price action? It should be all the way up here. There it is. Thank you so much, man. So actually we did get that daily breakout, right? So okay, so based on the daily, so it was a shoot, so it was an inverted hammer. So we're continuing. 213, bro, what? Guys, this thing is still mooning. This thing is still going to go to the upside. And if we're talking about beyond 213, where the hell is it going to land? Let's see. I'll give you the targets now. So let me refer to the 12-hour. The resistance zone that we're facing right now is already relevant, but man, it's exceeding it. Wow. No way. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm not sure when this thing is just going to liquidate, but every time frame is suggesting moonshot here. I'm going to give you, okay, here it is. This is my first resistance for you, and I can almost bet that it will land there. Okay, check this out. 223, just give it another 10 cents, right? You're looking at, you said 213? I don't see 213. I see 184. Why is that? Guys, go ahead and check chat. Please go ahead and dive into your Webull or whatever trades, CING. Let me know what you guys have as your closing valuation. I want to know personally, right? Because sometimes TradingView actually gives us a little bit of a different bias. But I want to know if let me actually look at Webull real quick. So Randy Campbell saying 213 as well. Let me pull up mine, right? So let's see. 213, Adrian, thanks, bro. CING, I hated that we have all these different valuations all the time. So 212 is 212 on Webull. 111, Fabian. See, you guys, look at that. My goodness, man. Let me see TradeStation. I'm gonna pull up TradeStation and see if I can get that visibility there too. I hate that there's all the, look at Abner Cruz giving it a 210. 212 close for Hound. Fabian 215. Oh my goodness, man. Doesn't scream fuckery at all, guys. Let me pull up my quotes on TradeStation and see CING. After hours 114 TD Ameritrade. See what I mean? Look at this. This is ridiculous. 215. Fabian, got it, man. Let's see what TradeStation has to tell us. TradeStation is closing at 213. So it's everywhere. Why? All right, so we're talking about 213, right? So let's see. 213 would be located right here. Let's take that into account, by the way. Let's just note it. And another thing to notice, guys, did you see if it moved beyond 213 or was it just right there? Because that's perfectly to a resistance. Interactive Brokers, Joe H, you're giving me 213? Interesting. Yeah, so it's a different valuation almost everywhere, right? But everything seems to yeah, I was looking at Webull showing 212 as well. Fidelity showing that 111, but I think it's just because it's not showing the after hours. 213 was the high. It's okay, so it was actually wick high as well, or overall high. Good night, fuckery noted. Absolutely, Mr. J. Take care, my dude. James Lee, 141 TD Ameritrade. Guys, look, man. All right, so the upside is still being suggested nonetheless. Okay, so if we're gonna base this around the 213 high, Robinhood is at $400. Oh my goodness. Randy Campbell, overall high, ended there and was on the way up when the after hours closed. You can't sell it. Oh my goodness. Robinhood says 400. Are you serious? You're not joking, bro? I'm going to pull up Robinhood. I think I still have an account. Let me see. $400? No, it's not. Let me see. What in the... I actually want to see that. We got to screenshot that thing. Robinhood making people rich over here, right? It shows 210 for me, right? But it would be super funny to see it at $400. 210 Robinhood, guys. So another one that's just Mark Roach pulling my leg. Randy Campbell went from 195 to 213 in the last 5 minutes of the after hours. Of course it would. Man, so they wouldn't actually trigger a FOMO event. I see why they would do that. Okay, and I'm sorry, where is this listed? Is this a NASDAQ? Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a NASDAQ ticker. Very interesting price action. Let me see on the daily to see if it shows anything else for us. Right now, the daily is definitely 111. And everything else should just be 184 from here. Yeah, it's keeping the 184. Everywhere is just so different from this, man. This is. I hate it when things happen like that, guys. But if it's so close to this 213, but I need you, man. I need you guys to be careful with this, okay? If we are closing at 213, that means that this is essentially setting up a bull trap. Okay, because we have a tiny gap over here, and usually we use the bottom side of the gap as a resistance. So meaning that as soon as these guys pump from 213 to about 223, 10 cents up, they're going to just bam this thing. I hope that's not the case, because everything in momentum is suggesting a continuation to the way up, okay? Which means that if I'm taking in the reference, the bi-daily and the 3-day RSI, which by the way, take a look. You see how just it's barely starting. This is why I'm saying that it's just so I feel like there's a massive upside to go in this thing still. So if we were to consider the upside on the buy daily from 213, then I could easily see this thing touch the range of about 290 let's see, 296 to about 317. Which, by the way, would be, let's see, how big of a pump to the upside from the 213 would that actually be? Oh my goodness, man. An additional 38% to the bottom side, and it would be an additional almost 50% to the top side. I'm not sure that it's going to go there now because of all this fuckery happening, right? So, guys, be very careful. Be super careful if you're long this ticker. right? Because there's I don't know what. Let me see this. I bet you, if we're able to see on the technicals here on TradingView, if we see a hard sell from the algo or a hard buy from the algo, and then the analyst rating a hard sell, like inversely, you know there's mad fuckery. Let's see. Oh, okay. So everything is suggesting a buy still. So now suggesting both on buy. Now I feel like that's real fuckery. Now the algo really trying to get us too. We have a buy rating and a strong buy rating from the analyst. Of course it would be that, right? So usually when you see the analyst rating as a strong buy, means max greed, means take profit soon, really, right? So this is literally inverse Kramer giving us the gist. Mark Roach saying Robin Hood steal from the poor and then they get rich. Man, it was really inverse right there, right? Not, Randy Campbell, if you got in for the pre-market, make sure to put in that tight stop. Yeah, agreed. Alex, what's up, man? Close 111, close. Okay, so yeah, man, that's what I'm looking at. So apparently some brokers are not showing the after hours trading activity, and if they are, they're not complete. Like for example, TradingView, they're showing us 184 when it in fact went up to 213, which is right up here in this yellow line, which is why I noted it, right? Guys, I'm saying that if there is the potential, if you are in profit, I would make your stop loss probably. I would probably make your stop loss maybe 198 because this thing could actually face a bull trap at about 223. And if it does do that, man, that would really suck. Okay, I'm not sure if it's just gonna be. You know, that real fuckery where you face that resistance at 223, then it comes right back down all the way to the wick low of this thing, finds that gap as support at 153, then goes all the way up to the freaking target of 317. You never know in these plays, right? So it's high speculation here. It's not mathematical. This is huge discretion, but everything in momentum is suggesting upside, guys. So let's go ahead and close it off right here. We are definitely not going to rate this for nobody. I don't want anybody trapped in this one because this is a very interesting play. If you want to play it, small bankroll, guys, small bankroll, tight stops. And no matter what, just honor it. At the moment you're in profit, at least 6%, man, I would take it. Right? And then you're 6% up on the day. Right? So guys, let's go ahead and take a look at our last two tickers. We have FNGR and AMC. Let's see what we got in line. FNGR, where are you at? Sebastian Lim, are you still even in the chat? Where are you at? It's got to be like 2 p.m. wherever you are. Let's see. FNGR. We had actually, did I already prep it? Let me see. It would be super if I did. No. Oh, goodness gracious. Arca failed. Oh, there it is. Oh, guys, come on. I don't have to load it. All right. So FNGR, I want to start off the analysis here on the daily, just like we always do, right? Let's just see what it's got. Sebastian Lim, can you go ahead and tell me why you have two different names all the time, bro? And anyway, so let's refer to, I actually had something to show you on this one, but it was relevant to a different sized channel, right? So this is, I mean, how epic of a breakout was this, right? Huge upside. But I think I can adjust the resistance now, and I think it's a new channel now because it would be in respects to this top, where now the channel starts from here, so we can adjust it this way, right? And then let's see if we can gain a type of tighter bottom, right? So I think this could be it right here. Oh, a little lower, right there. So these contact points are the ones that I'm looking at, right? Including this green candle, not the red one, the green, because the green was essentially the continuation and the opening of it, which opened right at that support. So if we now extend this, guys, I haven't even looked at this chart for a while, right? I barely prepared it. I just opened it just so we can see. Let's see here. So if this was, hold on. This is all speculation right now, okay, you guys? So it looks like we could be doing one of these numbers, but hold on. Oh no, if that is the case, holy goodness. These contact points, right? So now I have to adjust this. Oh, goodness gracious. The red line, it actually made it. Damn it. Sebastian Lim, I would be very careful right now, my dude. So in adjusting whatever is happening here in trend, we could be regaining the inside of this channel, and we could be trading it in the larger time frame. So buy daily could be it. Hold on. Man, okay. Let's see. Dude, so we're looking, okay, so we're regaining the inside of this channel. We tested it, we rejected it, right? But this is looking like an Adam and Eve formation, and I'll go ahead and show you what that is. Okay, so let's get some ovals here. So just like this is essentially what I'm looking at, right? So I'll draw it for you, and then you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about, right? So this formation is notorious for downside, right? So actually we can still correct it a little bit. Let's see. Who's saying what? Hold on, guys. Hold on. I know chat. I know you're still talking, chat, but I wanna just make sure that we can cover this. It's very important that we see it. Okay, so like this, right? So now the next for the Adam and Eve formation would be a continuation to the downside. Then we come back up like this, and then we continue to the downside, right? So this right here, this triangle alongside this oval creates an Adam and Eve formation, or you can call it. Some people think it's an inverted cup and handle, but it would actually have to be up here, right? But in this case, it may be getting traded in a smaller term time frame where we can see the inverted cup, right? But in this case, yeah, man, I'm starting to feel in a very discretionary manner that this is gonna create a continuation to the downside. If we were writing this channel in a macro time frame, then you can see actually that this would be test number 1, which is ridiculous. So of course we would actually regain it, and then we would continue on to the downside. So later on in life, as the time passes by, then this can actually reclaim, but I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and now look at momentum, and then we can validate. Okay, let's see what we got. So Sebastian Lim, you told me go long. Oh man, look at the daily, look at the buy daily just capitulating here, right? So hold on. Before we get too excited over here, let's see the 30-minute RSI, okay? 30-minute RSI suggesting a little bit of consolidation here, okay? So I'm going to move this to the upside so that everybody can kind of not get confused over the other indicators, right? So I'll make the momentum a little smaller and also make volatility a little smaller so that we can favor whatever's happening with the RSI, right? So RSI is suggesting a slowing down of bears right now, but still we have that support from the 14, so that's nice. Hold on. Let's go to the buy hourly. Okay, so the buy hourly is suggesting, man, are we crossing it or not? Let me zoom in. Okay. We're finding a very, this could be a support. Okay, but the support may actually lead us to a very limited upside. Hold on. Let's continue puzzling this thing together. All right, so here's the upside on the 6 hour. Okay, so this is likely to face an upside to just in that gravitational zone to meet the RSI, the 14-day simple, and then face a continuation. Hold on. Downside on the 8 hour, slight downside on the 12 hour, daily downside for sure. Okay, downside, buy daily downside, 3-day downside. Okay, yeah, dude. So that's literally what I told you it was doing. So the momentum is suggesting a slight upside based on I think it was the 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. Sorry, yeah, the 6 hour, very slight upside. Okay, so remember what we were talking about here. So if I'm looking at it on the daily, then we can see the upside being rejected right at about $2.31 from the 216 that where we at right now. And then this thing can actually face a downside for, I'm not joking, for about 2-3 weeks. That's what it's just momentum. I'm not sure that it's going to do that. I'm just saying momentum is suggesting that. Joe H coming in. Joe H putting the pink devil in there saying, I'm in it. Oh, so in other words, Sebastian Lim, get out before Joe H gets you, right? So let's go. Let's go ahead. Or hey, Hound, it may not stink, man. Maybe we should actually inverse the play right here and actually trade the long squeeze instead of the short squeeze, right? We're just gonna squeeze the longs to the downside. We were talking about that, me and Cal, last night. Cryptic Trader, damn, FNGR getting schlacked. Yeah, man, this thing is getting schlamealed for sure. My dude, this is I really do see that upside at about 231, and then I mean, the best case scenario 236, or the range between 236 and about 243. So that's just, it would be it, and then it would continue on to the downside. My personal opinion, right? So Mark Roach saying, since the end of time, LOL, to George T. So FNGR CRTD has been bottoming out since the end of, since? Good times, guys. So, of course, we are not going to rate the longs because the longs could literally make a 1.5% move to the upside. We can't do that, guys. All right, so, I mean, if in reality, if you want to see where that can go to, right? So that would be, I mean, it's a shy 11% gain. Okay, so that's a day trade for some people, but I mean, you don't want to speculate 10% and then it only reaches 7%, which is the resistance right up here, right? So don't do that. Don't do that. I would, Sebastian Lim, be careful on this one, man. So Cryptic Trader saying A+ long. If you're looking for a, yeah, for real. A+ longs if you're looking to lose all your money. So, Sebastian Lim, you need to get the hell out of this soon, okay, my dude? Be very careful here, okay? So look at that. What is moderator Cal L saying? Sebastian sitting on catalyst nobody knows about. I know his secret ways. Sebastian Lim is the market maker here, you guys, okay? Sebastian Lim, get out of this ticker immediately, okay? So definitely look at that target of about 233. Top side, best case scenario, 246, okay? Just, and if you're curious as to where the hell this thing can go, let's take it from the previous daily iteration. I'm sorry, the wick low to the wick high. And the first obvious target, let's see, between these candles here, resistance right at the 1.618, 185, okay? So likely to find a zigzag right at that 185. The second more likely target would actually be at this wick, which just happens to be geometrically lined up with that 2.618, 144. And then right here at the 3.618, that's hell. Okay, bro, don't go there. Liquidate. You were looking to long it. Okay, so if we're looking to long this, let's not look at this just yet. Okay, maybe let's come back to it in about 5 days. And Joe A saying, I will not relent. This is moist. It is seeping. It is seeping the blood already. It's all over the streets. So you know we're going to give this a hell of a no rating, right? So FNGR with a big ass no rating. And let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. And we got to look at the last ticker for tonight, guys. It's going to be ticker symbol AMC. Man, let's all cheer. Samantha H. Samantha H, what is up? All right, guys. So very, I think I said that we needed to prep our, oh, right. So yeah, I did prep this for you guys. I knew somebody was going to come in and ask me, say I didn't release the video today. They're going to be like, Arca, why didn't you release the AMC video? What's going on with you, man? You suck. Hip, hip, hooray. That's right. AMC is here, you guys. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's start off from the very beginnings. Okay. So we, man, look at this. This is incredible price action today, guys. How the hell did we come back to our entry point literally to stop people out right at the 0.618, 593 again? That was actually the loading zone, the top side of the loading zone that I recommended, right? So Cryptic Trader saying, AMC, time to go to the restroom. That's right. Cryptic Trader has a huge hate for AMC, and so do I. But AMC is gonna have to pay us all back at some point, right? So Joe H giving a gorilla. Nice, man. Put that ape in the chat. I love it. I love it. Okay, so guys, please notice that it wasn't only the loading zone that Arca said, right? It's also the SMA 200 that I didn't put there, right, guys? So I drew this box, but not the moving average, right? So definitely we came back up, printed a huge indecision candle, and then in the after hours we actually considered moving on to the upside. So good stuff. Now let's move on to the next ticker and see what we got, okay? Important thing on the hourly chart is that we are now upside of VWAP, okay? So we're looking at volume weighted average price. We're above it now, okay? So you can see actually there's a high relevance to it that we've resisted it, right? And we actually failed it, and then we succeeded it. And please notice how we're using it as a resistance, and now it could be used as a form of support before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, so I just want to show you guys different ways of validating price. And it just so happens that on the hourly time frame, volume weighted average price is below us, so this is pretty good. Okay, Randy Campbell saying my $8 calls from 3 weeks ago end tomorrow, so that means it will blow up next week. They're gonna for sure end up worthless, and it's definitely gonna go up right after mine expire. My dude, I can't tell you how many times I felt that way. It's like for sure the moment I go in, immediately 10% down. So I had to stop that mess and started learning how to do math. I had to learn how to do math so I don't see that anymore. Damn it. Okay. So let's move on to the next chart for AMC because it's looking pretty good already. Okay, you guys. So definitely notice, on the next chart here, definitely notice that we still have another indecision print on that daily iteration, but I must continue to express this upside. Okay, I want to show you guys that the momentum is still suggesting upside here on the daily. So as long as momentum is still suggesting that upside, guys, and volatility is starting to get a little dangerous here too. It's starting to turn yellow, okay? So we're going from blue, right, green, yellow, yellow. It's going to start turning orange and then red, and then we're going to start just bankrolling, okay, hopefully. So let's go ahead and now move on to the buy daily and see if momentum has any. Yeah, look at this. Momentum on the buy daily suggesting upside as well. So now I want to point out something here that could be lining up pretty well with the upside being suggested on that 8-hour time frame. And I'm sorry, the 8-hour momentum, right, that we were just looking at right over here on the daily momentum, sorry. This one here. So the reason why I'm saying that there could be still a bias for the upside is because today we printed 2 sets of bullish divergence, okay? So what we're looking at here are 2 sets of hidden bullish divergence and 2 sets of regular bullish divergence, and they're both phantom drives. Okay, so this is literally confirmed and now suggesting an upside continuation. We're right in the gravitational zone of the 8-hour bullish weakness percentile. Okay, so this is still suggesting the upside. Let's go ahead and now reference to all of the time frame RSI, where I know it's a huge mess because we had to restart the damn freaking trading view because it was glitching, right? So any day now, TradingView, let's get it. I'm wondering now if it's because all the lines are getting too cold outside to process. This is the longest it's ever taken me to load any type of RSI ever in my history of existence. Okay, so let's go ahead and now just take a look at that 30-minute right here. Joe H saying, let's pray for Gil. Why? What? Gil B saying left 2090 at open. Damn. So bro, you are screwed. don't maybe there's still upside to be looked at here. Okay, so let's see. 30-minute immediate short term is where we got to start. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and now look at this. 30-minute is crossing that 14-day simple. Good stuff. We still have an upside suggestion on the 4-hour. Of course, we have that 14-day simple moving average above us. So I'm saying that there could be a little bit of resistance here, but honestly, the RSI signal is pushing it to the upside. And the reason we can validate the upside here is because of the following. The 6-hour is still suggesting upside, and it's sitting right in the bull strength percentile, right in the center, with a slight upside pivot. Did you hear the crazy little boy out there? That's my son, guys. Say hello to James. He's not coming in here. We can't have him come in here. He's going to turn everything off. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the 12-hour. The 12-hour is now suggesting an upside as well, very much outside of that gravitational zone, which could essentially present the downside, right? But we still have that 14-day simple, but know for a fact that the 12-hour is still suggesting that upside, okay? Now, go ahead and start noticing the daily with a little bit of consolidation. it's slightly bullish on the daily. Even though it looks like it's pivoted towards the downside, remember your position. It's right inside of that gravitational zone of the bull weakness. Okay, so even if it does pull back a little bit, we still have a relevant area of support. So now let's go ahead and reference the buy daily followed by the 5-day, right? So the buy daily is still suggesting an upside, and it's not in the danger zone down here, right? So it's still okay, which means that the upside is starting to get a little limited and a little exhausted, okay? But what could that mean as far as targets? So what do you think the bottom would be, Arca, for AMC? Or for which one? So let's take into consideration our channel, right? So the limited upside that we're looking at is, I'm going to give you a range here, okay? So let's see. I'm going to draw a box like this, okay? It could very well be in line with the previous day's high of about 679 to about the resistance range of the channel at about 741. Okay, so yeah, so I would give this a limited upside within this area here. If I'm able to put, actually, you know what? Let me put a fib on this. Let's see. So Gil B saying, if everything you see is showing upside, why screwed? I couldn't close the contracts after the daily close. No, dude, you're not screwed. What the hell? I was you're probably going to run in the money and make a bunch of money. Actually, I have a limited upside though. So I want you to focus on this one. Okay, Gil. So go ahead and focus on the top side of about 739 or 740, right? And the first area of resistance could be at 679, okay, which we already talked about. That 679 target was met right at the 2.272 that we talked about from an earlier video that we talked about, right? So this is literally the first area of resistance, likely to be broken, but always remember that we still have the upside to go to test the channel's resistance. Okay, so remember that this channel is a bearish formation. Okay, so and now you're looking at the potential of test number 3 coming in here. Okay, so if that's the case, then we have to look at price action and momentum when we're up here. Okay, in order for us to evaluate what could happen next. And the reason why I say this is because test number 1, 2, and then 3 would be the shorts opening up position for a continuation to the downside. Now go ahead and line up the high of this candle here of about 733 with the resistance of the channel. See, right up here. So it could be 733 to about 739 or 740, right, as your final area of resistance. But the first obvious one is 679. Okay, so yeah. So I was looking at 677 today, got greedy. Okay, so Gil saying I'm out before 7. Yeah, I think honestly, man, if you're looking at 679 as the target, then honestly you would potentially be favoring somewhere between 669 and like 673 or something, just so it's right before that target. And then of course, right when you clear, this thing goes up to freaking $38, right? So that's literally what happens to me all the time, but it's all good. It's all good. We have the mathematical probabilities too. So yeah, guys, so that's what I'm looking at here. So I'm sorry, I asked Candace Morrison, Candace, what did you mean by that? You said, what do you think the bottom would be? Well, I spoke about, if you're referring to AMC, I called the bottom here. That's why I had the support line with the blue. I said, this is our loading zone here, guys, and this thing is likely to pop up to the upside based on an 8-hour volatility versus momentum backtest that gave us a 49.53% move to the upside, of which I think, let me see how much of it was reached thus far. About 46% of the 49% move was made. So that's more than fair. And it actually, 49%, man, that's a... I mean, that's perfection, to be very honest. So that's very good. The statistics played out the way we assumed they would. Sebastian Lim saying, let's see, Arca, do you have the same view for VS as yesterday? This was the last ticker I was looking at, but just to express a quick little view on this, did you actually remember I was talking about the 1.618 at about 75, 77? Let me see the low of today's candle. 75.83. My goodness, man. So yeah, I was talking about 75.77 being our loading zone before this thing's starting to potentially make a bear trap, right? So, I mean, this could flash momentum. I mean, it could. It very well could. Now go ahead and notice. Man, look at this. It's happening just the way I said it, bro. Look at this, okay? Now we have this thing for sure signaling that upside. We have contraction beginning. Oh, man, and 67% chances, 64.70% chances that this thing makes a 94% move to the upside, eventually taking us to about what? $1.54, $1.55? Okay, so VS on momentum actually, let's see what it's got. Okay, so I don't know that we had enough price action to the upside, which freaking hell, I wish I would have released the video today. I just had to, I had promised GTI, INC, or TD to release them. Okay, so the buy daily. Okay, so the upside is being suggested on the 4 hour. Okay, so everything is in consolidation until the 4 hour, and we're losing bear strength on the 12. Also losing bear strength on the daily. Damn. Okay, so. And the buy daily showing that limited downside. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing here. Okay, dude. If we're referring back to the loading zones that we were talking about, if we're gonna respect, right? If we're gonna respect whatever's happening within the buy daily as a pullback, then I can see this making an upside to the range of about, I'd say, the opening of that green candle here, which would take us within the golden pocket, right, or the knot 382 at about, let's see. Just upside the knot 382 at about 87.47 to the closing of this candle here at about 92.88. So the buy daily would essentially realize its pullback there, right? And then we would come back to 84.90 at knot 618 within the golden pocket, and then continue on to the upside. So what? Because this is an 8-hour chart. This can take some time to realize. It doesn't look like it's going to be explosive unless sentiment gets behind it, right? So what I'm looking at is essentially doing this type of movement, right? So like this, and then we would come back and test the wick high of the test of the bottom side of the resistance, right? We come back to our 0 fib at 90, and then this thing would continue making the geometric moves to the upside, right? Till it eventually reaches that resistance zone. We start knocking at the door here, and we consolidate, and then we break in. Remember that the statistical upside for VS is let's see, it's 20 days, of which 2 have been realized. No, 1, yeah, 2. Today was the second day, so on average 20 days. So this is gonna take some time to play out. So Supra 7 saying, Arca, your TA is the best, so in depth. You deserve more subs. 1 a.m. and I got woke up for 7. Man, dude, thank you so much. Really appreciate you, my dude. So the lucky thing about this situation for you is that we're ending very soon. So JDXL account, what's up, man? You're set to sell AMC at 669, but didn't feel either. Now I'm stuck. Oh, I still see an upside coming in. It's all good. Of course, it would just be at 668.99 before you, right? That happens a lot. So yeah, guys, and now Mark Roach saying 2 days of ticker pickering. It's Friday, y'all. Oh my goodness, man, I can't tell you. Happy Friday, everybody. By the way, very stoked that everybody stuck around for the entire chat today, right? Very healthy group. Very much like what's going on here. You guys still know that my rating for this ticker is B-, and that loading zone just passed us. It doesn't mean that it can't happen again. I'm just saying that this was it, right? So if you did get in where I was talking about, right? So you are up right now a good 6%, or just about 6%, right? And then this thing could actually continue on to the upside. We still have some zigzagging around, 20 days of all kinds of average to realize. So literally everyone stuck around. My goodness, guys. I thought I bored the hell out of all of you, man. But it's all good. Look at this. The music has actually been playing in a very, very, very tiny way. But now we can turn it up a little and pump the jam. Pump it up, right? So 6 Cents Ninja saying, can you do TA for TRKA? I got in at 24. My dude, 6 cents. The TRKA ticker was actually the third one. if you look in my time right up here, you see how it says 12:13 a.m. Go ahead and look back there to where it says 10:05. Okay, so or about 9:55. Sorry, right around 9:55 is when I started it. Okay, so refer back to that time, and you'll go ahead and notice that is when I started it. But yeah, good stuff for TRKA2, guys. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. You know the ratings now. You know the tickers that we're gonna be looking at. All right, so we're not gonna rate AMC just yet because we need to make sure that we don't get anybody trapped in overextension. But I still see that upside coming in fairly soon, at least, right? So, guys, but with that said, I wish everybody a very good night. Moderators, thank you so much for all of your help. Hound, saying some good tickers covered tonight. Thanks so much, Arca. My dude, no, thank you for providing I think, what could be the greatest play here, right? So, LLAP giving us a B-, solid. Remember that one, guys. All right, so, moderators, Samantha H., Mark Roach, Cal L., Hound, I love you guys. Sebastian Lim, have a good night, my dude. Joe H., have a good night. Randy, take care, guys. Steven, what is up, my man? Good to see you here, guys, okay? So, Gil, take care. Take care of those longs, all right? So, but with that said, you guys, I wish you well. I wish you a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.